Oh, that's hot.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to Nothing's Wrong podcast. I am your host. If you must forget, if you didn't forget, but if you did forget, you must forget. My English, I'm back, but I ain't all the way black.
Black.
I am Isabel, Issa.
And I am Catherine, and some of you may call me Kat, Kati, whatever you know me by, but it's glad to see everybody in here. It's nice to see my lovely sister, Isabel, Issa.
Yes, yes.
And if you guys
Very,
didn't
very
check her
nice.
out, she had her presidential, she's letting you guys know she's out here 2024, Lapierre, Miss President, Madam Lapierre. Give her a
Madame
round of
Lapierre.
applause. Madam Lapierre for
I'm
2022,
running, guys.
2024.
I'm running for office. Public
Yes.
office. Okay. Yeah, it's
Very
it's
exciting.
definitely it's definitely been a minute since we've been on the show, and
I know.
like New Year, so happy New Year to everybody. As you guys come in, we're not gonna, completely start the show until we start seeing you guys
Hitting
interacting
the
because
likes.
you guys have been looking for us. So thank you guys for the messages and
Right.
asking where we've been and everything like that, because I know it's probably not soon enough, but we heard that and we're like, okay, we got to get back on. And we were supposed to come on last week, but then schedules and things kind of happened. But we're here this week.
Yes, we are. So make sure you guys hit the like and make sure you hit the share. I mean, me and Isabel's been very active a little bit on our other social medias, like our YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can go check out Isabella Pierre on YouTube. She's been vlogging a lot, traveling, and so that's beautiful. So go check that out. And I'm also on YouTube as well as Catherine Lapierre, and I'm just doing a little bit of my single woman, I don't know, inspiration, vlogging, doing all the fun things that you guys should check out, especially if you are single and you're ready to mingle the right way. You should go over there and check that out. Remember, Isabel Lapierre on YouTube, Catherine Lapierre on YouTube, and Nothing's Wrong a podcast. If you're not following our YouTube or following our social medias, go ahead and hit that. I mean, hey, it's
And yes,
2022
we
and
we
we're doing new stuff.
we thank you for plugging that in, but definitely follow the Instagram account because we do want to start following people on there and
For
interacting with
sure.
you guys more on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely follow the YouTube because we will be putting out more clips on there of the show, of different highlights of the show. And I think that would be really great for
Right.
everybody to follow, like, and yeah, so as you guys come in, please hit the like button. We're so excited to get started with you guys, but we do want to make sure that you guys are here for us, like we are
Right.
going to be here for you. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my birthday was this month, earlier in the month. Shout out to all the Capricorns. And I did a lot of traveling, and it was really, really like great. Like I went to Vegas. I was in San Diego. Just kind of traveling since we haven't been here on the show. But like each week I was thinking, dang, I want to get on the show, dang, I want to get on the show, but then
Mm-hmm.
schedules and everything like that. But I definitely do miss having everybody in the chat,
I know, just
all
like
the
connecting with
regulars
people. Yeah,
calling
exactly.
in, telling us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're happy to get started with you guys and kind of, um,
Let me let people know on my social media. My
they they see it. They know that we're
they
here.
see it. Okay.
You're on. So, um,
Oh yeah, I am on. I forgot that it's connected to my Facebook.
yeah,
Okay.
everybody
Okay.
sees us here.
All
Yeah,
right. Well,
and so I did like recently just see, well, this just happened today actually, that the Miss
what you?
USA
Oh
2019,
yeah.
um, I think it's Chesley,
Mhm.
Christ. She actually passed away due to suicide today. And you know, this has been happening. I mean, it's always been happening, but this is something that's been kind of prominent right now of like say her or Regina King's son passing to suicide. And this is like, you know, you like we always say like you just never know what a person is going through, but it's really really hard, devastating and really hard to, you know, see a person who you feel as though is got things figured out and kind of living the life, and then they do something like that, so permanent and yeah. So I I'm I I don't know what to say about it. What do you gotta
I
say?
feel like there is a lot of
It's just over here.
celebrity children doing suicide, as well as, like, you know, high profile people, like, you know, the Miss USA for 2019. But then you got to also, like, you don't know what they're going through, and was it really suicide? It's like, you know, there's a lot of
Okay,
conspiracy theories.
conspiracy.
I know a lot of
Right.
conspiracy theory can go from there, but it's been tough. Like I know it's been like a tough, you know, couple of years, and maybe, you know, she wasn't making as much money as she used to, or maybe her love life. Like, there can be so many things that can get people depressed to do
Right.
stuff like that. And sometimes I think, like, seriously is a very selfish move to do, even if you don't have any children of your own, and I don't think she does. And I
No,
think,
she didn't.
yeah, I know life can be really tough. Like, trust me, I've had a point in my life recently where, you know, I felt like, oh, it's just like, I can't handle this. This is way too much. And I just feel like you got to think about the people around you and the people who care about you, and like that you can overcome anything, like, you know, and sometimes it's down, but like amazing things could have came after, like, her downfall. But we sometimes as humans, we just stay in the current moment, and then we forget that there's a time where we went through this before, and, you know, we can overcome it. But when you're in that zone, it's really hard to, like, you know, even speak to people like that. So I
Right.
just, you know,
And I
I
think
wish her
it's
family the best.
also to know like there's no escape. Like I don't know about
Right.
everybody else's what they view, you know, the afterlife or life to be like, but if you do subscribe to the notion of reincarnation, there is no escape. You will only recycle back over and start over. So sometimes, you know, sometimes people just want to restart the game
That's true.
and try again. So, you know, nothing is finite. It's all infinite. We live forever. It never ends. It's there's no end, there's no beginning. Like
Mhm.
you don't remember the last time you died. You didn't remember when you woke up into this world. You just like a dream, you just start. You just wake up in
Mhm.
the consciousness and this is the life that you're in. And so, yeah, just remembering that, you know, no matter what, there's you can't really escape it. So, once you get over trying to escape it, you just start just know that you're here to experience. And I think that's what we forget through the whole like hustle and bustle and moving through this reality. We forget
Mhm.
that it's just here to for us to experience. And you know, you can't really do any wrong. You can only have lessons, and you can only learn and grow and become greater or lesser. But that's really what life is. It's like that, just experiencing. And I think we put a lot on ourselves to do things right, or you know, feel good or be happy, when in reality it's just you're just here for any experience, no matter the experience. And that's what your soul signed up for, is like, I just want to experience life. So I definitely you know, think that that is something. So we have Tone Death here. My queens are back.
Oh, yes.
Hey,
Hi, Tom
shout
Dad.
out to you. He's definitely been checking on us while we've been gone, and
Yes.
really just been like a really great friend to us. So shout out to you and TDR Network. We are back. We're here on the network, as you guys can see. So thank you again for just being there for us and always checking in.
And thank you for
And
supporting us as well, because if we didn't have you, we would have to log in a different way. So thank you so much.
yeah, thank you for the platform. King
Right.
says, "Hey, beautiful. Good morning. Hey,
Hi,
King. Good
King. Thanks
morning.
for tuning in. Good morning.
Good morning to wherever you are. I'm guessing you're in the east, and
Mhm.
it's morning time for you. So good morning to you. Thank you for checking in, and even you left a comment and showed your love that you listening to the podcast. So we appreciate
Oh,
that.
thank you, King.
Um, yeah.
That's great. Like, I love that the fact that this is why we, sometimes like when we don't come back, we still think of you guys, and to hear like you want us to come back, that motivates us even more to be here today, and like to know and remember that you also have people all over the world, and it's like, you just think that you're in this small little bubble, but it's like, oh, I have friends everywhere. So
Right.
thank you so much for
Right.
tuning in,
Because
and
we
that's
do
why it's
think of
important
like
to network
everybody
with
who
people.
Right. And then we do think of everyone who comes on here and we chat with you guys and we get on the call-ins with you guys. Like you guys are our friends. Like we're
Yeah.
all like connecting here and we're talking about our experiences together and we're, judging a little bit and giving advice here and there and just speaking
Right.
our minds and opinions.
So, talking about judging and all that stuff, you heard about, this is celebrity gossip, but you heard about that Tasha K and Cardi B, the lawsuit that they're going through.
Oh,
Well,
Tasha
she
K
actually,
that she lost.
Tasha K. Did I
Yeah.
call her something else? Oh, okay, yeah. So, did you get the chance to hear like her testimony, and like the thing about like gossiping, and especially like when you're on platforms like this and you're just like, actually making up stories sometimes about celebrities. I mean, our show is never about like real celebrities unless it's something juicy, and you got to
It's
learn from their
relevant.
mistakes. Yeah, you learn from their mistakes, and you don't want to do that. But basically, she's a gossiper. She's like one of the Wendy Williams, and poor Wendy Williams, she's going crazy too. But basically, she was talking about Cardi B, and giving misinformation, saying something about her STDs and going overboard, even like bringing on her ex-friends and just gossiping, and I guess it's messed up her character as Cardi B, no matter if this woman is not as famous as her, but she still has a platform where people can hear, and these things are not true about her. So obviously her team and her went to go file a lawsuit. Well, actually, Tasha K filed a lawsuit. I don't know. I didn't really actually go into details of the story. But the moral of the story is this gossiper who's talking trash about, everybody and their mother. What did he say? She got what she
Keep going.
deserved. Yeah, she did actually. So basically she's going 3 years in this lawsuit, and the verdict came in and she lost, and she has to pay Cardi B and her team $4 million, and that's from her just gossiping and telling her thing. And so she did a testimony video on YouTube, and she was like basically saying like, oh, Cardi B is a corporation, and what they're doing is basically okaying for our community to be able to become strippers, legalizing, saying that, prostitution is okay, gun violence is okay. I mean, she had a say, but then also it's just like, she just felt non-remorseful from her experience. She was like, I'm so grateful for this experience. I learned so much about this industry, and like, my husband is the reason why I filed this lawsuit, and he was my supporter on this, and blah 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 blah, blah, blah. More of the story is like, at least apologize and move on. You don't have to go on your platform and tell your this and that, but Cardi B is a corporation. At the end of the day, it is all a corporation for us to, whoever listens to her, to listen to this side and become this kind of person, like feed into like thinking that strippers is being a stripper is okay, sticking your tongue out, showing this, showing that, telling this and telling that. I mean, this is all, part of her
I think
persona for this, Cardi B. Um,
right. So
but
I
go ahead.
think
What do you
that
think?
Tone Deaf says now these people can see that there are consequences to their actions. And
Right.
I can see both sides to it. I really could care less about either one of them because in the reality of
Right.
it, what do we care about it? Cardi B, essentially, like every artist out there, you put yourself out into the mainstream, people are gonna say things about you, whether true or false, it actually doesn't matter. And I think that she was trying to make a point in it, but in the reality of it,
Mhm.
this is what you signed up for. And
Right.
Tasha K, the whole thing with her is like, of course, she's not going to feel remorseful. She's not going to do that because at the end of the day, she's going to get more followers. She's going to get more people to know who she is because it was such a big thing. Even if she has to pay, she's going to pay, little by little, however way. It's not going to come out completely,
Mhm.
they need the check now. That's not how the courts work. So
I
she's
mean,
going to
they didn't
pay
sue
her
her really for the
restitution.
money. Right.
Right. She's going to pay her little restitution and, she's just going to keep gaining followers. And the thing of it is that it's just like we all at some capacity know that these blogs and all that stuff they're lying. They're not, they just do things for views and stuff like
Right.
that. And the whole thing about her saying that about what Cardi B or, she's trying to promote strippers. I mean, I've seen Tasha K put strippers on her show. I've seen her put prostitutes on her show. So she promotes them just as much. I think people just kind of go back and forth about the whole thing, but one hand feeds the other. It's just the same kind of situation
Mhm.
between both of them. So it's really like none of our business. And, the more we feed into it, the more Tasha K wins and the more Cardi B wins. And the reality of it, for Cardi B, like it brought you trauma and stuff like that. Like you've been online with your teeth messed up, with people saying crazy things about you. You haven't grown thick
Hey, calm
skin
down.
yet.
You don't need her to come over here and come sue you.
But it's nothing about the suit because I'm not
I'm
claiming
just
anything.
kidding.
It's actually true. Like
Mhm.
she's put herself, no makeup, teeth messed up, hair looking crazy, and people said wild things about her. And
Mhm.
to say that, I mean, she was in a lawsuit, about some girl in the club that she hired people allegedly to go beat up. Like these are things like it's to me, it's just all, me. I could care less.
I mean, I can care less too, but the reason why I brought that up is
But I
because
don't
of
feel any
the.
sympathy to Cardi B. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel sympathy to Cardi B. I don't feel sympathy to Tasha K. I think that they're just in the industry and feeding each other at the same time with the same BS.
Exactly. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, it's like they're both getting paid for,
For that,
wasting
because
their time.
Tasha K is
Yeah,
only going to continue to get more popular, and Cardi B is only going to continue to make more
be
money
Cardi
and,
B.
and be Cardi B who she is. So, is there really a winner or loser? No, one may have to pay restitution, but what does that matter?
Hmm. And
If
then
she's just gonna
also,
make more money anyways.
yeah, moving on. But I also had a comment from someone who said that we're men haters. Could you believe that? It's like, oh, on your
That
show,
me
you
and
guys,
you are
oh,
man
yeah,
haters?
man haters. That we come on here and when we talk about men. All you guys do is talk about men, and we talk. We put men down. And some of the things that we have problems with men is like it's women's fault. So blame the woman. That's what they say.
Example?
For an example, like, we'll be saying how, like, this man is treating her this way, this man is treating her that way, and it's just like, well, why aren't you blaming her for the way that she's being treated? And I'm like, I'm sure that we have, let women know that this is also you're experiencing that because you allowed that to happen to you. So it's not like we're always blaming the men. I think that it comes down to the woman as well. It's like it can't be just men, but then we also have to keep men accountable for the some of the things that they do, because some of the things that they do are not like, acceptable. Being a dusty and letting, woman fully take care of you when you have to have the right as a man to, do something kind and sweet for once in your life, to please the person that you
I
supposedly
think
want to be with. But obviously, you also have to take in consideration that women are the ones choosing these men to allow them to treat them the way that they are being treated. So go ahead. What did
right.
you have to
But
say?
I mean, I honestly don't have any sympathy for men. So if you feel like I'm putting blame on men, I then fine, that's what you think. I'm not gonna really hold any sympathy for men because men are men. The whole idea of the patriarchy exists because that's the life that men want to act like. Because okay, because I hate when like guys try to act like have sympathy for me, but then want to claim I'm a king, I'm a leader, I'm this. It's like, do you want sympathy or do you want to be held accountable? Because kings and leaders are held accountable for what actions are the people that they lead and the people that they're ruled over. So it's like, which do you want, the sympathy? And so yeah, I don't really have any much sympathy for men. Um, period. Sorry, I don't. In those regards, and for women, yeah, hold. I mean, we have women hold themselves accountable all the time. If you're complaining about whatever situation that you're in, you have to take your responsibility in being in that situation. Nobody's forcing you to be in that situation. You're sitting there allowing it to happen. And I think we do a good job at letting people know that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I may sound a little harsh, but that's just
I don't think it's harsh. I think it's like common sense. I think that if people don't live in common sense, then they're going to just allow somebody else's common sense to rule
yeah.
their lives. And
Because I seen like one of the popular podcasts what had like a show that was out, and the podcast itself is to, I guess, uh get men to be better men or whatever. And the
okay.
host on the podcast, he was saying like, it's unfair that what he said, Black women are getting all these advantages, that you have Goldman Sachs and all these companies investing more into Black women and building up Black women, and kind of leaving the men out behind. And it took me back, because I was like, is this really a man who's literally benefited from the patriarchy? I mean, men have the ability to go in multiple circles and do a lot of things, is now mad, especially obviously white men, but men in general, like no matter where you come from, like you always have the ability to go out there and get, and you don't have much barriers in place for you, like say women would. And sitting here complaining that women now are getting some help from companies, and it's like, so that's a problem. So it's like, it's a problem that women are now afforded these things that they worked hard for. I mean, women have been fighting for equality and respect and opportunity and all this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
now that companies are realizing that and want to help then that cause and move forward in that, there are actual men there saying this is not fair, as if the whole system has not been, like, it's not been fair at all, and in favor of women, and it's been on the favor of men for all this time. And now that this one little thing is happening, it's completely unfair. And I'm like, this is really what, like, some men think. Like, I don't know, you guys will have to tell me, but it's like, kind of like, I know Sean Penn, we have posted online, he was like, the men these days are very cowardly. And I feel like that's kind of the thing. It's like they want the position to be like, I want this and this to happen, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the work. It should just happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like men aren't really
Are you talking about Black men
wanting to be
or
men.
men? Is
Well,
it?
the guy was talking, the guy's podcast, he was a Black
Yeah.
man, but I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
what Sean Penn said, it was like that he just said, he blanket statement said men, period. But yeah, I am starting to see that. So for men to be like, oh, this and this about women, oh, you're not holding women accountable, it's like, why are you even looking for women to be accountable? I mean, I just think of like, if you're a leader, if you're a king, if you're holding any type of title of nobility or anything to hold yourself to high esteem, you should be willing to take full accountability and responsibility for anything that you experience. That's the whole part of it. You're no longer a child, you're becoming an adult. You're saying, I am responsible for everything that, you know, happens to me, and I take full responsibility, and I'll handle it, you know, as I see fit. That is, there's no but sometimes, and this, no, it's just that what it is. So then to turn around and say, oh, but this is, you know, unfair to me, now I'm a victim, now is this, now is that, it's kind of like, okay, well.
So I'm going to go back. This is a Black man's podcast that's being upset that Black women are being handed
They're
opportunities
not
that should.
handed,
No. This is what he
but
feels, that we're
given
being,
opportunity.
yeah, giving
Yeah,
to him, it's handed. Like as if we didn't, or as women, Black women, didn't go out there, work extremely hard, show our, you know, how hard we work, that, you know, they should be given this. Let's give them more opportunity. We see how hardworking, out of all the majority and minority in here, these Black women has outshone themselves, that, you know, they may not have all these opportunities that a Caucasian woman that has experience. Let's try to get them in the light, because right now Black women are winning. And so, you know, we have to go with the Black woman because she's out here killing it. Let's give them more opportunities because it's the Black woman's time. And now the Black
right.
man is upset because he didn't do the hard work to get to where he wanted to go. Because he's so used to being, you know, Black man worship, you know, from the community. Now in the corporate world, they don't want to offer you that, because for them, you're not
But it's
working
not
as hard
even
as
that
them.
for them it's not worth the investment, but also it's because, I mean, you're not really seeing much Black men in the corporate world, that in the levels and the amounts that you're seeing Black
The
women
Black
come
women,
into the
right,
corporate world. You're seeing a lot more Black women graduate from college. You're seeing
right.
more Black women, you know, assert themselves in
Mhm.
business and become entrepreneurs, where Black men are pretty much falling behind in that state. So what the guy was saying is that basically you have all these women who are going to be out earning, outperforming all of these Black men who, you know, would be potentially suitors for them, and then basically not wanting to date these guys that aren't able to you know, be at their level. And so that for him is a problem. And then it's basically putting the blame basically to Black women, like, oh, well, you should be then, don't leave us behind, you know, you should still want to date us, reproduce with us and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I was saying with Sean Penn's statement about the coward, like these men are, you know, want to be more feminized and stuff like that. It's kind of like, if a guy, the whole idea, and this is going back into like ancient time, not super ancient, but just like, you know, um times where life was a much more simpler and things just were simply placed. You know, women did not reproduce with men who weren't didn't prove themselves, right? Because you didn't want to reproduce with someone who was a coward. You didn't want to reproduce with someone who didn't have anything, because then you would just have that gene that would just reproduce into, you know, that same gene. You know, you would have that gene that's not that great. I don't know the exact terms for it. So women always chose, you know, a hypergamous lifestyle. They always went, you know, for the better man, and then the lesser man, he would die off and nobody would have children and reproduce with him, because he didn't raise to the occasion. He didn't, you know, he essentially didn't win. It's just like the animal kingdom, they would fight
I
for
was
the
just about
mate.
to
And
say that.
exactly. So
Right.
that is the thing. So now in society, what it's basically trying to say is that even if he is the lesser man, you should still reproduce with him. You should still give him a shot, and you could be the breadwinner, and you should take a man who's less than. And women are saying, why would I do that? Why would I then lower my gene pool into getting someone lesser? And so then I just reproduce maybe someone of that same gene. So it's because everything's in the DNA. You know, people
Right.
like to think like, oh, this is this and this. We carry the DNA of our ancestors. So I mean, we have every single living thing in our DNA, from what
Right.
they would call dinosaurs, from, you know, to um all of it.
The whole
we we
universe.
have
Yeah.
we have it all in our DNA. So
Right.
we're carrying the DNA. So
Mhm.
that whole thing of not wanting to reproduce of some with someone who, you know, you feel didn't rise to the occasion, that's you protecting your DNA and making your DNA stronger and better and be able to go further and be better in the world. Why would that, and they're basically saying that black women shouldn't think like that. Black women should just stick by you know, the lesser man because, and there's
They
no real
are
reason why.
because
Just
they are the, you know,
because that's what they've
basically
been
have
doing for the
transitioned to,
longest time.
right. And plus they have transitioned into that mindset of accepting just like, you know, the black love hanging in there. It's like the suffering, the trauma we've been through, the slavery, because this is what the black people have a big issue in. They're stuck in that slavery and that trauma mentality where we have to stick together because we've been through this. Look at how they treat our men. They're locking them up for no reason. They're, you know, police brutality, or they're, you know, not being able to be offered this position, or they're reminding me of, not all black men, but some of them are reminding me of the homeless people who's on the street and they're Caucasian asking for money, knowing they can go out there and go clean up and go get a job
Right.
immediately.
I'm definitely not giving you no money if you're Caucasian. That's just never gonna happen. It's like you're a
If
Caucasian
you're a
man.
man, period,
You're a
you don't have
white
to be
man.
Caucasian. You can
I'm
be
not
even a black man.
giving
A
you
black man can go out
I'm
there
not
and
giving
go
any
get a
man no
job.
money in the street. If
Right.
you're a man, figure it out. I don't have
This
any
Indian
sympathy.
man was out there asking people for money with his kids. And I said, you know, you can go to 7-Eleven and go get you a job tomorrow, today, actually. So don't come over here
Like,
asking me for money.
don't I everybody's capable. You know, we've all
Exactly.
been
A
in tough
woman's
spots,
capable, a
and
man's capable. We're in this modern world where everybody's able to get, you know, get
I
something
think it's
going in their life.
unfair. I think it's very like not responsible, and you can see to someone's character, especially a man's character, if he knows that he's in a bad position, if he knows he
Yeah.
financially doesn't have it, you should not be dating anybody. You should not even be
We've said that
focused. Your
multiple
focus
times. Yeah.
should not even be there. You need to be focused on getting your money together. You need to focus on getting your life in the direction that you want it to. And then once you do that, then you enter someone in your life. But just to be like, oh, I need a ride or die, somebody who's going to help me out because I'm down. No, help yourself since you're down. Help, ask your boys who you hanging out with to help you out. How about you go and figure out what you actually want to do with your life? Don't look to a woman to help you because you're down. That right there, I think, is what messes it up. And then in that same sense is like women shouldn't even want to, you know, you should, I don't really feel like women, if a man is like on the ground, don't even help him out, because you shouldn't help out any, like in the reality, let him figure it out. I mean, I'm talking in a relationship base now. If that is like someone you want to do business with or whatever the situation is and you're a man and woman, that's just a different thing. But if he's in a relationship with you and he's down, maybe he shouldn't be in a relationship right now. Maybe
And
he needs to
you
be
be
all
honest with him.
focused
And
into getting himself
yeah,
back up,
but I
because
feel
the
like also,
relationship is not what he
I,
needs right now. And the only
right,
thing he's going to do in that relationship is bring you down so he can come
right.
up. That's because that's the only way to bring himself up, is by bringing you down.
But let me put in a little sprinkle into your conversation. I feel
Hmm.
like men, they can't be honest with women and let them know, like, and say, hey, like, yo,
Like they're
I'm
wrong.
serious. Hi. So seriously, men, a lot of men are not honest to women. They will string them along. They will have open relationships. Like I was talking to a guy who in the past who I thought was like, you know, we were serious. We were in a serious relationship until, you know, I started feeling like, you know, that person wasn't evolved as much as I was evolved. And so I was like, you know, ask them that questions, couple them, not couple, maybe it was a year later. And I was like, what is it that, you know, seriously, like what's going on in this relationship? And then he was like, you know, and he couldn't really speak about it. And I'm like, you know, I'm actually done with you. And like, cause I feel like me and you are not compatible. And you know, the things that I want, you're not offering me. So I'm okay with us not being together. And then he was like,
Right.
well, we're in a relationship. And I was like, well, I barely even knew we were in a relationship. And so I was like, what kind of relationship did you think that we had? And then he was like, an open relationship? And I'm like, excuse me? When
Right.
did we have a relationship like that? I didn't know we had a relationship like that. And then he was like, oh, well, you never asked. Why do I have to ask you? So it's like
Right.
you do now. I like, I learned from that relationship is like you do gotta ask. Like you gotta ask because you
But I
don't
don't
know if
even
this
think that
person.
you need to
One moment.
ask.
Also, because
Hmm.
you don't know a lot of things. Like you don't know if this person has been bisexual. A lot of things. Like I think it's like you gotta really you gotta know who you're dealing with because you sometimes
Right.
don't know because these guys are
Right.
liars. They won't tell you a thing.
But what I do say is I think that, I mean, you could ask if you want, but you never have to ask. I think we
No,
women are intuitive or we know better. You
right.
know that situation that you're
I
in.
could
If a
tell to
guy
that it wasn't.
is
Yeah.
100% about you, committed to you, you're going to know. He's going to
Right.
make it very clear. Men
Mhm.
are that like simple with how they deliver it. You can't if you're not hearing from him, if you're not like just
Right.
like in his life where when you're in someone's life. I mean,
Right.
we have friends that, you're in their life. You know that, that's your friend. So
Mhm.
you can't tell me that you don't know if this guy is 100% about you. He's going to let you know in his actions every single day. So it's like we kind of
Yeah,
kid
that is
ourselves
the truth. It
thinking
needs to
and
be
get stringed along
right.
supposedly, but he's like, well, how could you not think that? And it's like, it's up to the woman to be like, you know what, this is what I don't want. This is just, I don't want it. And
Hmm.
it's like, oh, if this is how you're acting, then I don't want it. It's
Right.
not good enough for me.
Hmm.
And if it's like, and then be okay with it. It's like, it's not bad if a person wants an open relationship. That's great. That's good for them. If you
Right.
don't, then you
That's just
don't.
not for
There's
me.
no
Yeah.
problem there. There's no drama there. Go
That's what
find
I said to that
somebody who
person. I
wants
was
what
like,
you want, and I'll go
that's
find someone
right.
who wants what I want. And
Exactly.
moving on. No
Right.
problem here. I think that
Just
communication,
don't
but
hit
it's
me
like
up
you don't even
because
have to necessarily say that because you could
yeah.
say, well, this person isn't always around for me. This person isn't
Right.
someone I feel like I can come to and
Right.
call on and stuff like that. So right there is like this relationship is not a real relationship, the relationship I want. So
Right.
you could just exit yourself out the relationship because this for you it's not even a relationship. If this is what you call a relationship,
No.
it's not one for me.
Right.
There's no questions asked. You could just see by the way that person's moving because I don't believe in like you have to tell men this is what I want, this is what I want. Men know what women want.
No.
Like
Yeah.
we
I mean, for
they
sure.
know. They know. Like, like some um uh like a guy, he could be taking you out on a date, right? And this is something that I realize is like some men will be like, okay, like I'm gonna go on a date with you. We're gonna go to dinner and stuff like that, and they'll come pick you up and take you to dinner, and then they're like, oh my god, it was so great meeting you and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Some other men will come and they'll say, "Can I take you to dinner?" And they'll, yeah, okay, fine. And then they'll be like so happy and grateful that you're gonna go to dinner with them, and they appreciate the time that you're gonna take. They're like, you know what, I'm gonna get you some flowers. You know what, I'm gonna bring you because I appreciate the time that you're taking to come because you and from that point, that little gesture right there, it opens up the door to be like, oh, he actually notices me. He actually, is really interested in me.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
telling you the truth, like from experience, the guy who brings you flowers is the one that actually really wants to be with you in
Of
the relationship
course.
with you,
Yes.
rather than the guy who's just gonna say, okay, I picked you up. Okay, let's just go sit down and eat
And then
dinner
think
and
that you can do
you had
other
a good
stuff
time.
from that pickup.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
it's like those little things that matter in the relationship is like and from that point you're going to say, "Oh, he must really like me." Like,
Hmm.
he actually went out of his way and did something nice before he met me. And
Right.
so I'm going to turn it around and King says black love. And black love, I think, and I'll say this and I'll let you say what you have to say about it, but I think like if we focus too much on just black love, we kind of miss the point because it's an illusion. It's just not true. It's not it's just not true. And the reason why it's not true is because I don't think enough black people love themselves to even love each other. So it's something, if you want to look for it, and I'm sure it can be found in certain aspects, but it's like, as a community, it's not even, the culture isn't even based towards that black love. We say it, it's popular to say it, but the culture itself isn't promoting it. The culture itself is dividing and putting women to be less than, and a man can have how many women, and this is what the culture is producing, because we have to remember, you know the culture is what, going towards 14 to 30-year-olds, and so that's the next generation. They're not promoting black love, even though we try to act like it is. I mean, we could see even in the future generations, all of the black couples that sat, like, marriage didn't go up, all of those things like went down. They became more, baby mamas. They became more like children without fathers in the home. They become more of that. So I think the black love illusion is cute, but I don't think it's a reality. What do you think?
Well, I was gonna explain, like, for King, like, what is black love, like, seriously. And you brought up good points of what's going on in the black community, especially for black love. A lot of the black men are not committed, where they're actually marrying the people that they're involved with, like they're dating. And I see a lot of black
Right.
men are dating outside of their race and becoming married to women who are not black women. And
Right.
and so the black love is, I feel like I have to agree with Isabel that it's becoming an illusion, because, a lot of black love comes with a lot of trauma, a lot of chaos.
Right.
I
It's
love,
black struggle love, and it's like, who wants struggle love?
exactly. And
That's
I
more
think,
so
and it's in
promoted
the part of,
trauma, and
right.
being toxic, and being like a side, or the main chick, or I'm, this is the guy I'm talking to, like all of these things that we supposedly call love isn't really love. It's just all trauma bonding, or actual just toxic relationships.
And I feel like the reason why the black love has not became a lot of people's reality is because of the men. And I'm putting blame
Yeah.
towards the black man. And so a
Yeah.
lot of the black men out there, they are not committed. Like I said, they are not making commitments to a job, not making commitments to a relationship. They're not making commitments to their children. A lot of them are out here just living life like they're some little kids. And then black women have to sit there and praise these black men just so that they can have that energy and, like, him feel fly, him feel this. It's just not given what it's supposed to give for the black love.
Yeah.
And
It's point period, like you just said, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. What it's supposed to give, because we were all sold it, right?
right.
We watched the Love and Basketballs, we watched all of the movies
But
that
he
kind
wasn't
of
committed
showed
too.
it. Right. And it's like, so the black love is basically just saying,
How about Best Man,
you're
the
not
black
gonna get
movie? The
commitment.
black Best Man, when he was on his way to getting married, cheating on her.
He didn't cheat on her, but he was doubting the whole situation. He was like,
But
oh,
still, that's still part
I
of
don't know
cheating.
if I want to do this and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, this is kind of what's been promoted in that sector. So it's like, it's very rare, and especially going to just become more and more rare, um because the generations, and it's just not black only, it's all generations
Right.
that's coming up now, that they're just being promoted, be in a talking stage, be in situationships, be in
A polygamous
entanglements,
relationship.
be polygamous, bring
Mhm.
someone else in. And so
Mhm.
those kind of things is like, how are you even going to build, on and become like have a legacy, or have any of this stuff, if there's no commitment, and like you said, if you're not even willing to commit. And I'm not saying all black men, but
No, this
it's
is not
as
all
the
black men.
majority, is like the majority of black men aren't even willing to commit to their children. And so if you're not even willing to commit to your lineage, to what you're producing out here, you can't even find that level of commitment. It's like you won't even be able to commit to a woman because you don't even feel any commitment to the thing that you actually created. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely an illusion, and I think women mostly want to live in that illusion, but I think men exited the black love idea, or if I don't even think they were ever in it. I think that that was something that, people tried to say and women tried to get men to accept, but I don't think, like you said, like if you're not even willing to commit to your children, I mean,
but they committed extremely fast for, like, when they're in interracial relationships. They're and you know what, I'm not gonna lie, look at Tristan, who's dating outside his race multiple times and still treating women the same way he would treat a black woman. So these
it's
black men,
yeah, because
they
it's not necessary, it's not promoted
yeah,
to them to
to
be
be
that
committed.
way.
Yeah.
That's not something that is promoted. So
Hmm.
you got to remember, like, a lot of people try to act like they're individuals, but they're mostly followers. People
Right.
usually follow the trends, follow what's popular, follow what their favorite rapper, athlete, or whatever is doing. So
Hmm.
a lot of these guys are just following what their favorite rapper athlete is doing. They're like, hey, and this is what's promoted in my favorite song. This is promoted, thing. And the same thing with the women. This is my favorite artist. This is what's
The
been
kind of
promoted to
guy
me.
I'm
I
gonna
am
be
going to
dating.
recreate the same thing because
Hmm.
it's just like memes. Everybody's becoming a meme. Nobody's thinking for themselves. They're just reproducing the same meme over and over, saying, oh, I'm like that too. I'm toxic like that too. I do that too. And that's cool.
It's horrible because, like, even like, I feel like also like the way that the black culture, not like other cultures, maybe they're like, I don't know. I don't know. I think all cultures, women are being very disrespectful to their men. Like, they're talking to them like there's some, like, I don't know. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're fighting, they're doing stuff. Like, for instance, this is not a black couple. This is actually a Caucasian couple that I heard about. She recently got a divorce, and they're in their 50s, and they have children together, and this guy is seen as a toxic man who has disrespected her numerous times. And this was only because, like, she literally took all her life savings, supported him in his career, and now he's successful, and she's just a stay-at-home mom. And they had 3 children together, and the children see the mother, because I guess he's been telling the children, like, your mom is the one that's toxic, she's the one that's crazy, and stuff like that. And so, like, literally the kids see her as the crazy one, because when she's arguing with him, she's literally screaming and yelling, and when, because they're in the home, and he's like talking calm, like, yeah, well, I'm gonna need you to, like, calm down and stuff like that. She's like, no, screaming and yelling. And so the kids believe what the father has said. But mind you, this guy has cheated on her. And then we found out that, the woman that he's cheating on looks way younger than her. I believe that she was a hot woman before, and he just fell out of love with her. Lust, love, he didn't find her attractive anymore. Plus, she's over here, getting upset every second
Because
for little things.
something, and
Yeah,
I'll stop you right there. The
sure.
what it's the thing of it is when she's yelling, and this is
Hmm.
the thing that women have to really understand, especially even if it is your husband, you can't do too much.
Right.
Because as women, if we do too much for a man, we
Hmm.
build resentment for that man.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then we feel like if he's not doing exactly what you want him to do,
Hmm.
then it's going to become a problem. And of course, he wasn't doing exactly what she wanted to do, but she can't keep her cool because she's not only mad at that situation, she's mad at the fact that she did all of this and this is
Hmm.
happening to her. So this
Right.
is why for men who want to sit there and you know have women take care of them and stuff like that, that woman is only going to build more and more resentment towards you. And women, you have to be wary too, thinking that you can handle that. As women, we can't handle that. We
You
cannot.
can't.
you need to know you're different than a man. A man can sit there and, help you out. I mean, I've had this
Change
happen. He
your
will
life
help
for
you
you.
out, change
Hmm.
your life for you, and can send you on your merry way. He won't even care,
No,
whatever you do. He'll
his
congratulate
heart
you
wouldn't
on
break.
being
Right.
married, whatever. Even if it'll
Hmm.
hurt him a little bit, women,
He'll get over it.
she will call you every day, letting you know exactly what she did for you and
Right.
how you ain't nothing because you
Hmm.
didn't do what she wanted you to do. And then
Hmm.
she will go back into those times every time, go
Hmm.
back in every argument. But remember when I did this for you? But I did
Yeah.
this for you. But I did
Hmm.
this for you. But I did this
Hmm.
for you. But some
Hmm.
men do it too. But it's something women we're gonna, because we're not used to doing that, because she knows in her head, I wasn't even supposed to do that, but I
No.
did it because I
Hmm.
love you. So
Hmm.
now that you're not, you're cheating on me, you're doing this and this and this, and I did all of this.
Hmm.
Oh, how dare you? And so it
Right.
hurts even more. It hurts even more. It comes down even more. This is the reason why it's like you can't give too much. You got to remember, ladies, you are a receiver,
Hmm.
like in every part of it. Of course you're going to give. Of course, you're a nurturer, you have children, you nurture, you give, you do that. But if you're sitting here giving, 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 and the man is taking, 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 when he gets on his feet, he already used you up. You really
Right.
think he's going to sit there and have some type of loyalty to you? Come on. Because
And another
if that
thing
was
is,
the case, he wouldn't even take from you. If he was the
exactly.
stand-up guy, he wouldn't even take from you. He would
No.
be like, no, I'm gonna figure it out.
Even there's men
Let's just
there.
live below our means. That
Right.
we, if I can't do it, then we won't do it.
And there is
He'll
men
just
out there. Right.
adjust to the
Right.
life that
There
he
is
can give
men.
and say,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, there is men who are like that. That would be even like her family, who's has more money than him, would be like, "Hey guys, I want to offer you this," and he's like, "No, I don't want to take from you because I don't want
Right.
you as the father to resent me and call me a dusty and call me all these names. Like, oh, he's not good for nothing. I gave him money. He's still doing the same thing. It just lowers their self esteem to even want to do
Exactly.
better
How's he
because
gonna
they
put his head
just
up
received
and
it.
look at anybody if he knows, oh,
Even if he
she
can
or
pay
her
them back in
family
a
helped me
fast
do all of
time.
this?
Yeah.
No, I mean that was the
No.
same thing. Like, I mean, it got on my nerves, but Emily in Paris, why,
Yeah.
the guy, if anybody watched the show, he didn't want to take money from the girl's family, because
Right.
it's like, I'm not, I'm already with you. I'm not trying to take, your family's money. I want to build this on my own, because
Right.
there's a sense of pride in building yourself up. I mean, of course you
Mhm.
take investments and stuff like that, but you don't want handouts. You don't want people who's just gonna give it to you, and then,
Right.
it's kind of like, if you don't work for something, you'll never appreciate it. If you're always handed something, you're never going to appreciate or know like what it's really worth. If you it, it's just, yeah. So I think inside of us, man and women, we all know that. We all have that idea of like, I want to do this for myself.
Mhm.
There is many times, even you, when we were kids, and I'm like, oh, let me do it, let me think, because I know this, and you're like, no, I'm gonna do it, I want to
Oh
do it.
yeah, we still do that
you
to this
know
day.
and
Yeah.
it's fine, because you're like, no, I want to do it myself. I don't want
Mhm.
you to do it. You may know
Yeah.
how to do it, you may know how to do it faster, but I
Right.
want to figure it out on my own, and I want to
Yeah.
come to my own conclusion, and I want to
Mhm.
see my own work and do it
But I want to also
my
be
way.
proud of myself. I want to be proud
Exactly.
that I as well know how to do what you know how to do, which I didn't know how to do before. And it feels better because you're
Right.
actually doing something different. And that's the thing that I hope men, by hearing this message that we just had tonight, is that you want to at
Right.
least as a man stop using these women and starting drama. You're the reason why there's so much drama. That when you allow a woman to take care of you, you're starting drama,
That's
literally.
drama.
Because at the
Drama
end of the
right there,
day,
because she
you're
can't
starting
do it
drama,
without
trauma, all that stuff.
reminding you. Yeah,
No.
she can't do
And
it
you're not
without
going to feel
reminding you.
good. And even if
Right.
you like, and
And
then go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, Anki, if you guys, we had a show with him, so go back and watch it. But he had said in one of his shows, he was talking about like the story of two brothers, and one brother, I don't know if it was a biblical story or whatever it was. I think it might be a biblical story, but there was two brothers. One brother, went out into the world, and you know, did whatever he did, caused chaos. He did all the stuff that he did or whatever, but he went out to the world and tried and did what he did. The other brother stayed home, you know, he did what his parents told him to do. He was a good boy and it did all of that. And when it came down, you know, for his dad to pass on the head of the household, and he had to choose who'd he give the head of the household to.
The one that was more experienced in life.
Exactly. The one who went out and figured things out on his own, and then, you know, messed up a couple times, but thing and the good son who never did anything wrong and stayed home and did what his parents told
He's
him to
not
do,
ready yet.
he said, why didn't you choose me to be the head of the household? You know, I'm supposed to be, you know, I did everything you told me to do. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
well, he went out and he became his own man. He, you know, figured things out on his own. He didn't need me to tell him anything. So he has more experience and he's able to do it. And so that's the same idea as like, if you're not going to go out, the same thing as like what they used to do in ancient time. Well, not, I keep on saying ancient, but a long time ago, they would send the men out in the forest and it's like, okay, whoever comes back with the meat and didn't get killed, you know, you're a man now. That's
Yeah.
your rite of passage. Is like you kind of have to go out and mess up and come back, you know, with your head still high and say, you know, I didn't stop until I figured it out. And then, you know, then you are somebody, you're a man. If not, then. And so these men who would rather live off of women and play video games all day and just not, you know, go out in life and try and don't do anything is like, and then wonder why, you know, what, you should respect me, you should do this. It's like, what? No. And so women like that, if you are in a situation like that, don't sit there and waste your breath and arguing with him. What you need to be doing is go find you a real man. I mean, the man can stay there, whatever. Do what you want to do with him, but you need to go level up and go find another man and then get that guy out of your life. Because that's the only way you're
That's the
gonna,
only way.
you know, that's the only way he's gonna learn, because then he's gonna be like, dang, she left
He
me, she
won't do
leveled up,
he
she got
won't
a
do it to another
better man.
person.
Let me go
Yeah.
put myself up there so this
So I could
doesn't
be a
happen to
better
me
man.
again. But if you sit
Yeah.
there and you keep on allowing him to do it over and over and over to you, no, girl, he's never
That's
gonna
called
learn.
worship.
Yeah, you sitting
That's
here
called
that you
worshiping.
made him your son, and that ain't your
Mm-hmm.
son. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
have no kid. It called him. That's
Mm-mm.
supposed to be your man, and he's sitting here acting like
You're
your
a man.
son.
I don't like that
So
term, you're a man. Like your man, especially when your man ain't doing nothing, that ain't your man. Like
that's
we
your
don't want to
son.
claim things that's not doing more than they need to. Like, you know, you gotta show who you are. And
Right.
yeah.
King says black men don't earn as much as black women. Laugh out loud. The
They
reason why black
don't
men don't earn much as black women is because black men aren't willing to go to
do the
school
work.
and earn the same degrees and do the work and go into the
They want to
corporate
do it the
world
fast
and
way.
put themselves away. They usually go for the fast route. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason why. It's not that they're not capable, not that you're not smart enough, not that it's just that
Not
you're
at all.
not doing it. You're just not doing it.
You just feel
And
like you don't have enough time to do that. You want to get in the door and get the money fast. And that's why
yeah,
a lot of
and
black
it's
men
programming.
started that's why a lot of black men started being like drug dealers, because they really wanted the fast money and they knew like, hey, like this is going to be the route for me to get the fast money. Or some of them went to trade school, so they went that route. So it's like they never, because there's a lot of black men who went to college, became very successful. So we're not saying,
Right.
but majority of this community has only tried to go the fastest route, you know, become a
Right.
rapper, become do sports,
I mean,
you
and then
know.
a lot of them, and it's really because of the generation before them not taking
Right.
care of their children. A
Right.
lot of them, you know, that do get opportunities, say in sports and stuff like that. Then they're like, I mean, I growing up, I was around athletes and stuff like that. They were
Right.
one foot in, and they were in D1, right? D1 schools in like basketball and stuff like
Very
that.
smart.
And
Yeah.
then they're one foot in that, and then the other foot's in the hood because they didn't have a father. And so this connection to the hood and their homies and stuff like that is there and it's strong because they have to, you know, that's still their home. That's who they grew up
That's where
with
they
and stuff
live.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if this don't work out, but then this hood
But you
thing
know
could
what's so
actually
crazy?
mess you up and make you not even get your
Right.
dreams full thing. And so this is the situation. So sometimes,
Mhm.
men are, by the time they get to that level, they break out and they go to where they want to go in life, and they no longer hold on. But I've seen more often than not that they actually keep that one foot in the hood, and if things don't work out, they go back into the hood,
And
or they
that was
bring their
that's the
hood
biggest
mentality. Look
problem.
at Aaron Hernandez,
But
from the
that's the biggest
Patriots.
problem, sis. This is the biggest problem is that they say, the OG say, yo, like if this ain't gonna work out, you always got, you can always come back here. So they're giving they're manifesting that this may not work out. So what route
Right,
do I have to take? I'm gonna go to that route, I'm gonna go back to the hood, like I'm gonna, hang out with the
right,
boys. They're gonna give me, a lot of money. And one day they gave you a lot of money and he's like, wow, this money looks good. And so
right.
that's how they continue that momentum. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And it's just like,
But that's if they
and then
don't
become a
have that
rapper on
strong
top of that,
support
because
system. Exactly,
yeah, because
exactly.
like
And so
because
they're
that comes with
following
the
that culture.
lifestyle.
Right.
That
But
comes
if
with
they
the
have a
lifestyle. Make a
strong,
music video with your boys in the
right,
background with the drugs and the guns, and it's like pow
right.
pow. It's like,
And it was like,
that's
oh,
the
I used to
life.
play ball, but I don't play
Right.
ball no
I don't
more.
play ball
And
no
so,
more.
but
I'm a
then,
rapper.
but right, but then if they do have that strong upbringing, because I mean, we
Right.
grew up with a kid who, he and that didn't necessarily have his father in the home, but his mother and his grandmother were very much in his life, pushing him towards,
Right.
his actual life. And he played football, he made it, he went to Stanford and made it to, the
Business
NFL and
all
played
over.
there. And then whatever, I'm not saying no names. um and made it to the NFL and stuff. And then,
Yeah.
when that didn't completely work out, he went to med school because he still had an idea of, this is what my life is going to be like. So I still have, there was no hood to fall back on because his support system didn't give
Wasn't
him a hood to
allowing
fall
that.
back on. All you have to fall back on is your degree and go to med school and become a
And they had
doctor.
that conversation
And
with that
that,
person. I'm 100%.
exactly.
It's like you
So
have to have
that's the
people by your
thing.
side to make
Mhm.
sure that, because you need an accountability partner. You don't need a person who's telling you to go party. Those are the worst friends.
Right.
And I think like when you're young, you need somebody who's smarter than you and who's more successful than your parents or you or whatever. You need
Right.
somebody in your circle that does good in your life. And the story that you were talking about, I was sitting there trying to be good, and sometimes you do need the fire of bad and you got to get the taste of it. But majority of your time needs to be in a real, like, understand what life is really about, that you need to have
For
money in this
sure.
world. You need to have a
Yeah.
career. Like it's part of this world. Like you
I
need
mean,
to
for
have
me,
one.
like,
You need a
I
business, you need a
growing up
career,
in
you need something.
Boston,
Yeah.
right? Growing up in Boston, like, I say it all the time. Like, I didn't. As soon as I came to LA, I saw real life. I mean, the first time I
Yes.
came here, first time when we
Right.
moved, not came here, but when we moved here, as soon as we came in through the neighborhood we moved to, there was a car chase, a police chase happening, and it was like, oh my god, I've never seen it. I mean, I know that happens everywhere, but we know that happens in LA, right? That's an LA
Mm-hmm.
thing to happen. It was like real life, and then you see extremely like rich people, and then you see like destitute, poor, like crazy on the
The
street
first
people.
time.
So it's like two
Right.
extremes, right? Popping
Mm-hmm.
up in your, and it's like, I've never seen this. I mean, you see people in Boston who are really wealthy, but they're a little more modest, and it's just not as much in your face
Flashy. Yeah.
of the wealthy. And so it's just like, dang, like this, you can end up either way here. And then go first year going through like tough times living here,
Mm-hmm.
adjusting to everything, getting out of my party ways, getting out of the way that, I thought life was supposed to be. I hit hard times. I was like, dang, I don't, and obviously I put myself in those situations. And, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that, any of it. I put myself in those situations. I wasn't responsible and I did those things. And so being in that situation, and it was like, and then getting myself out, and then realizing like, dang, I went through so much in this situation. And it's like, now, no, but like nothing could keep me down. Just going through stuff, putting myself in a situation and going through some hard times, those make the best success stories.
It
And
does.
so it's like, even the people who's like, oh yeah, like, I mean, how many people I mean, not that much, but there are people who get locked up, you know, was in jail, did stupid stuff as a kid, come out and then start, you know, building themselves up in one type of way, and they can come up and do like great things. People like coming up from the bottom is a real thing, and it's something that mostly everybody should experience. And you think like, oh, the wealthy and the kids who come up with a silver spoon in their mouth, oh, they're ahead of you, but in actuality they're
Nope.
more handicapped than you are, because they can't go out into the real world and function and be able to move and stuff. And if you can make it out of that, you could never be down. Even if they took everything away from you, you could just remanifest it back up. Even if they like, hey, you're gonna be locked down for this much years and stuff, you be like, all right, I'm gonna be sitting back here
A
and I'll
better
come back
person when
out
I come
and
out.
I'll just blossom back up. Like that's the whole idea of it. So it's like, you know, women be like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to, you know, where he gonna go, and you know, trying to help somebody. It's like, let him fall, let him, you know,
He
let him,
needs to fall.
you know, when I fell in real life, I didn't tell nobody. I
Right.
wasn't sitting there asking nobody for help, because I didn't
No.
want, because I'm not the type of person to ask for help. You know, I'm a Capricorn. I'm not a real axer for help or type of person. I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. And I'm gonna go through this situation. I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'm gonna move on. And
Right.
then, do I ever? I mean, sometimes I think back into the situations that I was in, but I don't sit there and like, I forget about it. Not every day is gonna come through my mind, because I know, like, oh, okay, that was just a point in my life. So that's the same thing. Let him go through the struggle. Let him sacrifice himself, and let him come back up, because he's gonna come back stronger, and he's gonna be able to come out and be the man of the house and be able to run stuff. But you can't run nothing if you didn't fall on your face, right? Siddhartha Buddha, what he say? Let me get out this castle. Let me go see the
Right.
world. I ain't seen
Right.
nothing. How am I gonna rule if I didn't see nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go see the poor man. Think even Jesus. Let me no put me in the forest, yo. I gotta get
Mm-hmm.
away from this.
Right.
Everybody knows the way to grow. You gotta what? Put it in the dirt and darkness. Put me in the lowest part, so then I could
Mm-hmm.
blossom out. But if I'm out here in the light and you ain't, I'm not planted. I'm not. How am I gonna grow?
That's what I'm saying. And like we said earlier, for Miss USA,
Oh yeah.
2019, you know, she was at there's point people at the point of their life was like, this is way too hard, and it's like, you got to understand,
Yeah.
when you fall, this could only go to a better level. It can't go any
Right.
lower than this. So
Right.
believe that. And I think what the thing about learning how to manifest, and like, I know a lot of people may not know how to manifest or think about manifestation, but it's part of
Mm-hmm.
everybody's world. We even have like ships that come in, they call it manifest. Like, this is a real
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's a natural law that, you know, you can actually do it, and it's not voodoo magic, or it is magic basically. And I think
But it's something
we
we
as,
naturally do. Mm-hmm.
yeah, naturally, since we were kids, like, since birth, you naturally manifested your soul to be inside this, you know, inside of this vessel, you know. And so like,
Mm-hmm.
what you choose in your life, don't put doubt in it. When you're trying to manifest something beautiful, don't be doubtful, even when you're going through your hard pain and suffering. I remember recently, like a couple of, like, probably 2 months ago, I was really like shutting people out, didn't want to speak to anybody, going through my thing alone. And instead of speaking to somebody, or, you know, being honest about what I felt or what I was going through, and having somebody hear me, or actually leaving my space called my home and walking outside, getting fresh air, being out in nature, that if I didn't do all those things, I could have been just like those people, jumping off the bridge and
Mm-hmm.
killing myself over something that was so petty, so small. And I understood that I had to go through this part of my life just so I could overcome, you know, the amazing things that's to come into my life. And if I didn't take the
Right.
time to, you just realize like, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna sit in my dump, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I need to get out and clean myself up and get out
Right.
there. And I think it's important. So when you feel like you're low, and it's speaking to a man, it's speaking to a woman, and you want to use somebody, I think you have to think, let me use myself. Stop using
Mm-hmm.
people and use yourself as a, and you can only receive amazing things when you use yourself. What else can happen? I mean, I've been
And
using
coming
myself
from people
recently, and
who
amazing things
literally,
has been happening.
right, and like having people like, especially I believe in, oh, what's up, Jay?
Oh,
Happy
hi,
to see
Jay.
you back. you know, you always can call in. You always free to do that. So,
Yeah.
you know, just let you know. That's,
Mhm.
you know, if you want to call in, let us know because we would love
We
to
here
catch
for
up with you.
you. We
What's going
miss
on with you?
you.
But for sure, like I just always think about like there, like you just gain so much more knowledge, more experience when you do things for yourself, and especially like since, I mean, I've had people, well, we've had people, you know, come into our lives and use us and take advantage of so much that we've, you know, freely given to people, even when we couldn't even really give. We just, you know, did it anyways because we were friends and stuff like that. And a lot of those people, because we didn't let them fall, because we were like, oh, well, you know, yeah, you can do this, you can stay here, you don't have to pay me anything, you can do this, where they end up just using the next person. They didn't grow, they didn't see anything. They were just like using and using and using and using. And then it's just like, oh, so I'm
But one
just
day somebody is
I'm not
going
even
to
helping you
make
at
them
this point.
fall. Right.
But that's the thing is like if you actually want to help them,
Make them
let them
fall.
fall. Yeah.
Well, just like your children when they're first learning
Because
how to
like
walk.
when my friends gave up on me, like when we first moved here, and
Yeah.
our friends just was like, okay, like you're in a bad spot, like done with
Oh
you,
well.
basically.
Yeah.
With them letting us fall was the best
Best
decision
thing they
they
could
ever did
ever
for me.
do. Right.
It was like
I thank them for
I
that.
got out of my delusion. I got out of, I stopped wasting money, wasting
Right.
time, wasting like just
Partying.
all of this stuff that
Mhm.
we were doing with them, wasting time. Is like, oh, it's like reality kicked in and it was like, what are you even doing here? Did you come to this state to hang out with your friends and party and do nothing?
And
And it's
waste all
like,
your
so
money
now
here.
that they left you, what are you gonna
Right.
do? And it's like, oh, and so at the time I was like, dang, they're messed up. They ain't even gonna help. But in now, in my mind, my thinking is like, it's the best thing that they ever could have did for me. Because
Oh, amazing.
if they did help, and I would have still been in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew what would have woke me up to be like, your life is happening right now. I
Right.
didn't like when I was in Boston, I didn't realize life was happening. I
Oh
had
no.
goals, but I didn't have a huge, like I didn't look at like the outline of my life the way that I do now. I didn't like really see past the weekend.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like cuz
Yeah.
my life
Same.
was like, you know, school, work, weekend. That was and that was just the cycle I was on. It was like, okay, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna work and stuff, and then party on the weekends. Hit up all my friends. What are we doing on the weekend?
Not even
This is what
on
we're
the
gonna be
weekend,
doing.
sweetie. It was Wednesday, Thursday,
No, in
pum pum
Boston, it was
Thursday, pum
definitely the
pum
weekend.
Thursday,
LA, no,
pum
that
pum
I was
Thursday.
older by then. I'm
I'm
talking
just
about when
saying, like,
I was older by then, like
yeah.
when I was living like on my own in
Hmm.
Boston and like, in my own cycle. I
Right.
didn't I didn't hang out with anybody like that
Yeah.
much, but I did go out on the weekend because
Yeah.
during the day I was waking up at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I was working, then going to school. Like I had a schedule for early morning
Yeah.
activity. So I wasn't going out during the week and I had my own apartment and like things were different. But then my weekends were like it and I didn't think past that. I didn't, you know, that was just my life. And then I wasn't thinking about growing a business. I wasn't thinking about I just my mind wasn't there. And
Yeah.
then like I said, through experiences, through all of the things that transpired in my life, that's what's actually woken me up to my own life. I'm like, oh shoot, I can do some stuff here. I don't have to just, do this, and I don't actually like doing this. So I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
And and then I'm going to try that something else and then if I don't like it, I'm going to stop doing that and I'm going to try something else. And
Hmm.
then, you know what? I don't like living here. So I'm going to go live somewhere else. And if I don't like living there, I'm going to move somewhere else. And then I'm going to move somewhere else
Hmm.
and then move
That was
somewhere
just
else. I
like the
mean,
new stage, like moving somewhere else, moving somewhere else,
yeah. I was
and
like,
then
oh, I moved to LA, chose this neighborhood, don't like this
mhm,
neighborhood, move it to another
right.
neighborhood, move to
Hmm.
another neighborhood, move to another neighborhood.
My mom was
And then
like,
it's,
"You have to stay in one place," and I was like, no, I don't.
I will
I
when I
made that
find it.
one choice of staying in one place when I lived in Boston, and I stayed in
Right,
Boston, and I was like, you
right.
know what? I am not a cold person. I do not like dealing with the winter. I don't want to deal with the snowstorms. I don't want to deal with the lack of people that I'm not
Right.
really interested in. I don't like the environment. I don't really like the job I'm doing here. I don't like this place. I'm out of here.
So then you
And
did
those all
something
came.
else. And then
Yeah,
when you did this something else, and then you realize, oh, I actually don't like that. So then you're
exactly.
just constantly refining yourself. And
Right.
then when
Every
you did
single year.
find what you do like to do, then you did
Right.
find where you do like to live. And then you
Mhm.
could build on top of that. It's like, okay, now I have a foundation. Now I can
Right.
build on that because now I'm
Exactly.
happy with that. So it's the
Right.
same thing, even in choosing a relationship, a man, and stuff like that. It's like, hey, if you don't like what the person's offering you, choose something else. It's like you don't have to stay there. You don't have to like,
But
oh well, I
sometimes
gotta
you
do
feel
this
like
and
because
stuff
you
like
built
that.
a long-term relationship with these
No,
people, yeah,
no.
that
A
you
long
that
term relationship is not marriage. Let's
of
start there.
course,
So
exactly.
don't.
But I'm just
So
trying to
first of all,
explain to
and
you
I
that
knew this.
this is why,
Okay.
a lot of women are, in the predicament that they are, is because they feel bad because they put the time. And so it's like, they put the time and effort. Like, I went to school for 4 years, so I'm thinking that I'm going to receive my degree. And it's like, oh, well, in this school called this relationship, there is no degree here, meaning there's no marriage, because this is not that type of school. You're
Okay,
going
but
to
let
a
me tell you something.
non-accredited
This.
school.
Okay, so go into that. Right. Think about it like
Right.
this. If you go to school, university, and you
Mhm.
spend 4 years or whatever, and you go into the field and you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore. So
Right.
what? So that whole 4 years was a waste of your time? No, you learned a lot. You built a lot of discipline. You were able to push yourself in certain ways. You can go out and do technically anything. You can go start a business because you have the discipline. You have the thing. That wasn't a waste. It was a lesson. Maybe it
Right.
wasn't exactly to what you thought. So it's the same thing even if you're in a relationship. It's like, and it doesn't work out. It's the same
Mhm.
thing. It's like, well, it didn't make it to marriage. It didn't make it to this, but it was a lesson. I still now know myself better. I know, other people better. I can now go and deal with another relationship probably better than I did and handle things better than I did in the last one. Everything is a lesson. So nothing is really to waste. Nothing is really going like to deaf ears. Like everything you put in to life, like I think it's all divine and it's all great and it's all a lesson. Like we started this conversation and was like, you know, everything is all connected. So it's never gonna be a waste. It's never gonna, I always say, oh my God, that person just sat there wasting my time. I say it out of habit, but I know it's not really a waste.
Mhm.
I'm learning more about myself, this experience, that person, but mostly myself. Because
Yeah.
all people can do is mirror to me who I am. If you showing me who you are, you're showing me who I am.
Mhm.
That's all because we're all the same
And I think that is
in one
okay
way or
when you
another.
experience those situations where you feel like you wasted your time. I think, like, the moral of the story is, like, you go through that for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. These situations, when they're negative, it's not a bad thing. I think it's
Yeah.
okay. And I think when you're in the moment, obviously you're like, oh, they're wasting my time, or like, I can't believe I put all this time in it. But then you got to see the good that happened in there and the reason why the bad happened and what you won't accept in the next
And
relationship
when you
or in
do
the
that,
next situation.
you're willing to leave a bad relationship sooner.
Right.
Because once you realize, because some people don't want to leave it because, oh, I put in all this time. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you just take it as, well, this was all a lesson, so it doesn't matter how long it took me to learn this lesson, it's still a lesson, and I'm grateful for the lesson. You're going to be able to wash your hands and be like, okay, I'm done with this class. I passed the class finally. I finally
Mhm.
made it through the gatekeeper. This trick that they've been playing on me doesn't work anymore. Thank you.
Right.
But it don't regress and say, well, I've been here this long
And I don't
and
want
we
to
did
leave
all
them in the
this
streets
anyways.
if I leave them.
So that's where you mess up yourself.
Yeah.
Ibrahim says, hi ladies, welcome back, beautiful ladies. Hi.
Hey,
Thank you.
girl.
Bella. King says, educated black women have it harder. Um, you know, they make it harder for themselves. I think that
Because
that's
they
the thing. I
accept.
think if you limit yourself and you accept that, I mean, I feel like people act like things are hard. Things are not hard. We in 2022. Like if you live, especially if you live in America, it's not that hard. And if somebody's making it harder for you, then they're just playing you. Because if you're educated, first of all, now you're able to go into most circles that people who aren't educated able to go in. So you're most likely to meet more educated people, and you're most likely to probably get an educated mate. So why would that be harder? It's probably harder to relate to someone who isn't educated, or some maybe harder for the person, but harder for the educated woman. No, I don't
I
believe
don't
that.
I don't
But go ahead.
believe that it's harder for the educated woman. Especially because I think the new educated women in this modern society are now being able to find the men that they really want because they're
Mm-hmm.
so educated. And I know that some educated women work hard and they think like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just go on online dating and go find these men, and they're not educated as them, and they're just picking them because of their looks. So some of them will experience a hard experience because they're not using their common sense as
Because
educated
they don't
women
know how to
to
date.
exactly
Because they
that
don't know how
too.
to date, but that can be fixed. That, I mean, all of that can be fixed. I mean, if you're
Right.
educated, like, you have to think about that. Like, you have a whole alumni of, educate, like, people in your pool. You have now, you can now, if you did get a degree in whatever that affords you money, now you can be in better, you can join society. You can join, you now opened up your pool to be bigger and better. So
But
it's
what
up
does
to
he
the
mean that
woman if
educated
she
black
does
women
not
have it harder? What are they having it
have it
harder
harder
from?
to who. This is the
Yeah,
thing. It's
because
like, to
they can
who.
afford their lifestyle. They
They can
have the things
afford
that they
to live the
want.
life that they want. They
Yeah.
can,
I
and
mean,
and
what
the thing
are
of it is,
they?
like, what are we saying educated? Because it's like, is she successful in the education? Like, what are we saying for this
That's what another thing is
educated?
like. What do we mean about these educated
Just
women?
her having a degree from, what do we mean by that?
Because she could
That's,
actually still pay off her student debt because she
I
worked.
mean, a
She's
woman could be
educated.
successful and never went to college.
That too.
She can
So,
have a business that makes her successful. So educated or successful, and then it's like, successful women don't have it harder. I think it's just harder for any woman if she does not know how to choose the right
or she
mate, if
doesn't
she
know how
doesn't
to.
know her self-worth, she
Right.
doesn't know, who she should be dating. I think, but that's all coachable and teachable. So
I
not
mean,
really.
yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think, and it's like, harder to date who? A less educated man? I don't want him. Like, if I went to university and I paid all this money and I became something and this like that, you think I want a less educated man who no, nobody's going to want that, because you're not going to be able to relate. And some people, and it's not even about relating, it's about the discipline, right? Because it's like, you can be like educated and got your PhD, and then you can go with a guy who's just an entrepreneur and built his business, stuff like that, but you can still connect because you both sacrificed and did something and was disciplined in that, and was able to, you know become something off of what you did, right? Because that's all your labor, your mind, your work, coming into fruition. So it's like, that's who you're going to link up with, most likely. Somebody who's just as ambitious, somebody who's just as they. So it's like, you're going to, the guys who can't compete, the guys who can't, rise to that occasion, why would you even want to? Of course I want to make it hard for you, because you're not going to be able to obtain me. That's just reality. I mean, and that's just on a woman's standard. Now with men, men date, anybody. They don't really have, like, they men don't
They date who they're
necessarily.
attracted to.
Yeah, they date who they're attracted to,
Hmm.
which makes sense, right? Because
Yeah,
he's not looking for
for her.
you, because if he's got himself together, he's not really looking for you to do anything for him. So he's not gonna be like, oh, are you this, are you that, are you this, are you that? He's like, oh, do I like her, is she, this and that? But a woman is like, your mind is not thinking, like, even if you got it for yourself, you want to make sure that he can protect and provide for your children, right? You want to make sure that he can, give himself and your family a life. Even if you're gonna work and have your career and do anything, you want to make sure, because you're gonna bring children into this world. Even if you're not, then I'm not talking to you. But if you are gonna bring children into this world, you need to be able to trust that he's gonna do his part,
Mm-hmm.
because you have a child to bring into this world, and you're gonna bring that child into this world with someone who is not gonna commit to that child or you. I don't think so.
Yeah, speaking of that, I don't know if we can get into that, but yeah.
Yeah, but we can get into it. I mean, it's just the truth. It's
I
like,
don't like to hurt
if
people's hearts,
it's
but
the
it's like,
truth. Don't,
sorry,
and that's,
you can't
yeah,
sit there and, you got to really, like, when we're thinking about creating a family with someone or procreating just to procreate, you have to think about if this person is willing to be, a real man and or
right.
father to this child. Is he financially stable to, be able to take care of these children? Like, some people are not on the assistance. So what if
What?
this
How much
kid
do
gets
they say a
sick?
child
What
is? Like a
what if
hundred
what
thousand
if the kid's,
dollars
huh?
or something like that. They're like $100,000, like for each child you should be making, or something like that. So
Does
it's
do,
like,
do people
if
follow
that
that
guy is
rule?
not no, people don't follow that rule. Clearly, people are not
No.
following that rule. But it's like, but that's a true statement. Is like, because kids are expensive.
Yeah,
Kids
they're
are,
expensive.
and and
My daughter made me buy
you
her
as
a
a
million
parent is like,
fishes.
you gotta now, right, but as a parent you gotta now take care of this kid and yourself. It's like, and
Right.
then it's like, it's not even just like, oh, just this
Because you
kid now.
still
It's
have
like,
to look
no, but
good.
you still have to live too. So
Right. You
it's
still have
like,
to be that, like, I still have to be Catherine. Like, no matter if I
right,
have a Sinai, I still need to be Catherine. I have to make
but
sure
who's
I
gonna
look good.
feed you? You
I'm
can't
doing the
just
same.
feed the kid, you gotta feed
Right.
yourself too.
Exactly.
So it's like,
And
so
you can't just dress yourself and not dress the child. You cannot just pick a job and not put your child in a great school. You got to think of all these things, and, like, oh, you can't take them to a free clinic when you want to take them to a real actual doctor who is
right,
specialized into whatever, your child may have, some sickness or anything
right.
like that. You don't know what kind of children you're going to bring into this
So
world,
that's
because
why,
people are not taking the
yeah,
time to realize who they're procreating with. Like, maybe
right.
this person has a disease in their family that may trickle down to your family. You might have no problems, but then all of a sudden you have a kid and this person has asthma, they're allergic to this, they're allergic to that, and you're like, I don't have any allergies, I don't have anything wrong with me. And then you
But it's
find
because
out,
of that gene,
yeah.
right?
So
But
it
then it's
comes
like,
down
but
to a
then
lot of
where is
those
he?
things.
How's he gonna? Where is he? He's long gone, and that's the thing. It's like,
Oh
if
yeah.
the guy is not, the whole idea is like, people think it's like, oh,
He's
that's an
running.
old school way of thinking of it. But if it's like, if he's not gonna marry you, don't give him any children, because at the end of the day, and it's like, if he's not going to marry you, or you're not going to specifically go to the clinic and get some sperm inserted in you for you to be a single mom by choice,
Mhm.
because that is a thing. You can be like, you're like, hey, I'm at the point in my life, I want to have children, I don't
Mhm.
have a man, and I want children, and I can
Right.
take care of
That's
myself
okay.
and the child. Perfectly fine, you do that. Hopefully, you get enough male role models around that child. So it takes a village. You can raise a kid,
Oh yeah.
obviously, without, you can put filler
Having a
people in,
father.
right? But that's not the case in most cases. In the most cases, women are giving up their womb to
Mhm.
men who didn't even say that he was going to commit to you.
Or maybe he did say it, but he still hasn't done it.
There's no commitment to you in the reality of it. And I hate when people do, oh, well, marriage. There's no commitment to you unless he marries you. Because legally, that's the commitment to you. And so, the same way, like legally, like he could be committed to that child because they can force him to pay for that
Child support,
child,
yeah. Mhm.
because it's, hey, that's your blood, that's your
Mhm.
semen, that, hey, that's you.
Mhm.
But you as the individual, if you do not get that man to commit to you,
Mhm.
then how you even gonna trust him? Why would you trust me? And I mean, it takes a while for me to trust people, like, for real, because I
Me
already
too.
see people. I know the game. Like,
I see you.
girl, I'm like, you finessing me the same way I would have finessed you. So
Right.
come on. You gassing me up, you saying whatever you need to
Right.
say. Like, people know finesse. Stop acting like you don't know, like, finesse.
Mhm.
So unless you're gonna show me something for real, you finessing me, right? That's just the reality.
Right.
Being in LA long enough, you realize people will tell you big dreams.
Oh
They
yeah.
finessing you the whole time, right? So
Of
it's
course.
like, so then if he doesn't do that, why would I give you my womb? Why would I give you something so, like, I'm bringing you the greatest gift a person could give, which is bringing
Yeah.
life into this world,
Yeah.
and you're not even going to appreciate it? How can I trust you will even appreciate it? How could
You
I
can't.
trust that?
You can't trust
How
it.
could I trust you? I
I
can't.
want to know how these women
I
feel.
can't.
I want to know. Maybe we're just, we're just talking and we're just saying anything, but from experience,
The king says black women don't marry. That's a lie.
that's a
Black
lie.
men
They
don't
definitely
marry.
marry. They might not be
It's
marrying black men,
black
but they are
men
marrying.
don't marry.
Right.
It's not
Don't
black
come over
women. I
here.
don't know if any black woman, if you do, you know any black woman that's in a relationship and will say with the black man, and if that black man asked her to marry him, she's gonna say no? Really?
No, she's gonna say yes.
Come on. She's gonna
And
say
first
yes.
of all, black women don't
She's
ask
going,
men
women
to.
are not turning down
Black men.
engagements like that. Come on.
First of all,
Let's
black
not,
women
yeah,
are not
laugh out
out here
loud.
getting on
Yeah,
our
laugh
knees.
out loud because it ain't true. It's not
Right.
true. Black women don't marry. Like that, I'm gonna put that up because that's a lie.
Okay,
That's
can
a
I say my
lie.
piece
Black
about
men
black
aren't
women don't get
asking
married?
women to be married. Don't sit
No.
there and lie. Okay, go ahead.
Well, black women, first of all, black women are out here married, and they might not be marrying you black
Right.
men, but
There
they're
are
out
plenty of
here
black
being
women
married.
married. Yeah.
And a lot of
Too.
black women are not wasting
My
time.
mother, which was a black woman, was married. So,
Right. My mom,
is a black
exactly.
woman, is married. So, black women do marry. That's a lie, but go ahead.
There's black women who are in marriages today, and
Right.
long-term marriages.
Right.
Many, many years. Trickle down. Black women marry. Black men, you guys don't marry. You don't commit. You don't
Right.
have a commitment in your soul. You can't even commit to your children. So don't come over here telling us that we don't get married.
But
Like,
you can't sit there and say that black women don't even want to get married. They do want to get married.
They want to
Most
get
women want to
married.
get married.
They
Most
want to
women
marry
want to
that
get married,
Dusty
but they're not
tomorrow.
going to marry. But the thing of it is, there's a lot of black women that's not going to marry the Dusty. There's a lot of black women that's saying, "Hey, if this is what it
I'm
is,
one of them.
I'm not gonna get married. I'm gonna back out because I don't want that stinky man. I don't want that. No, I don't want that problem." So that will be a situation where
I'm
she's
one of
gonna
those
back
black
down.
women.
But
I
most
do not
women
marry the
who are
dust.
sitting there having babies by these guys, if those guys got on their knees and say, "Will you marry me?" Them women would be married to that man. If she got a baby by that man, she would marry
She'd
that
want to
man.
get married to him. Yep.
He's not trying to marry her. But don't say black women don't marry. That's, come on. No.
Yeah. Laugh out loud all
You
day.
really think a woman who's gonna have a baby with a man is not gonna marry that man? Then you lost your mind. That's
She'll
just
drop
not
everything
reality.
in her power to get married to
She
that
had
man.
a
That's why
baby
she dropped
with
that baby. She thought that baby was gonna get her married, but things happen. Y'all won't commit. This is the thing. We gotta be talking about this real quick. Black men don't commit. How many times do we have to explain this thing? And if they do commit, they out here still not committed because they cheating on their wives, thinking other people look beautiful or whatever the case may be, and they're not fully attracted to their black woman because they weren't satisfied. Maybe this was their high school sweetheart or blah, 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 this and that. But as soon as we're in this modern time of 2022, black men are not committed to their current wife, their girlfriends, their baby mamas, they're nothing.
There's an uproar of black men coming out. Oh, I want a polygamy relationship, whatever that whole word is.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for that. Okay.
Right.
And that's then they're looking for long-term situationships.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Situationships, no relationships.
And they love to have baby mamas and their drama. That's what they are promoted to have, and that is what they have. Black men have not been conditioned and programmed to marry. Now, if the conditioning and the programming was to marry, then a lot more of them would do it, but that's not the conditioning or the programming. But yeah.
Their condition is to run away.
King says, rich black men marry out, fair deal. And those guys who marry out is usually they just get played themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because those women already know that you out here self-hating. And I mean, this is the thing. men kind of lose because they don't realize that they think with their penis and women think with their minds. So a lot of
And
the
their heart.
time, right, a lot of the time, women of other races that aren't black, they will marry and have children and do that with rich black men because they are rich,
Mm-hmm.
not because of anything else
Not
other
because they're
than
black men.
rich,
Mm-hmm.
because they are rich. And
Mm-hmm.
then being a black man, they already know that the black man already is like gonna love them because they are, not black.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is all the psychology going
Mm-hmm.
on. So
Yeah.
this is why you have the Brittany Renners and the stuff like that can come out and say, "Oh, you want to hit a lick? This is how you get a basketball player. This is how you get it." Because we already know the mentality of black men. So this is like, I mean, we can go into the whole thing, but in the actuality, men who are supposedly rich, I mean, look at it. They all get in divorces. And what do those women do? Take all the money and say, peace out, and go to a white man if they're accepted there. Or they'll go to another black man that's got the money, take his money, and do the same thing over and over
How about
again.
Dr. Dre? His wife, Dr. Dre, his wife wasn't
Exactly.
black, right?
Dr. Dre was a
Mm-hmm.
white, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And what she
Mm-hmm.
do?
She got
She
her
got
money
the
out of
money.
that.
And she
Mm-hmm.
left.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know she knew he was beating up women a long time ago, but she was like, I'll get beat up for a check.
Right. Because that's what they'll sacrifice. This is all when they're
You
dating
think?
these
Do
rich
you really
black
think
men.
women don't realize how black men treat their own women?
Mm-hmm.
So if they already realize how you're treating their own woman, then they see that you're gonna willing to take your money and invest it in a different, not even in your own woman, in another woman, then you don't even love yourself that much. So you deserve to get licked. This
Mm-hmm.
is like, come on, people finesse people. This is like, people actually think like, I don't know what they're thinking, but it's all a finesse.
It is.
These
And
women are way smarter. If you're gonna even be in the circles with that black man, you already, if you didn't know, the girl next to you is gonna tell you, "Oh, girl, you better get that man. He like you. Let me tell
mm-hmm.
you what to do." That's what happens. When I came into LA, you know how many girls hit me the game? I didn't know nothing. What they do? Okay. Oh, that person. So this is what you're gonna do. This is how you're gonna head it. If you don't know, some girl's gonna tell you how to do it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be a fool not to do it. This is the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
this is what I tell
crazy.
you. Coming to LA, it brought me up to speed. It showed me, oh, you thinking this is all this. That's not the reality. That's
Right.
just not the truth. And so a lot of men, they, end up getting played because they don't think with their heads. They think with the down there. And if you already thinking like that, then you already getting played. Because
Exactly.
most of these women can't really be in a relationship with you and be seriously, because their own community will disown them and look at them like, what are you doing with this guy? So you're going to put
They
all
know
of that,
that.
what, in the name
They
of
know
love?
that.
No, that's in
They
the
know
name of
that.
money.
They know that.
Yeah, come on.
At the end of the day, they know
Name of
that.
money.
And
Mm-hmm.
everybody's here for a reason. You're here because she's attractive. She's your ideal woman. And
Mm-hmm.
she's here because you're rich. Not
Yeah,
because you're black, but because you're rich.
because you're rich.
So, and
Oh,
I
and
think
because you're black, because now she can take your money because she knows that you're going to just worship her because she's not black.
exactly, because
Because
you're,
of your own
like I said,
self-hate.
you're her ideal. That's your ideal girl.
Right. So
You
that's,
always
yeah.
wanted that. So she knows that she gets that little special treatment because she's, something you like, that something different. You don't want what looks like your
Right.
mother.
And then what happens with those black men who do that? They
Oh, they
come
get
running back
divorced.
to black women later
Oh yeah,
on
because they're
after the
not
white
getting,
woman
because
done
they
took all her
finally
money,
want
and now
real
they say,
love.
I had a guy who would sit there, he was trying to talk to me, was engaged before to a whole white woman. She ended up cheating on him with her ex-boyfriend, right?
Right.
That probably didn't even have as much money as he did, but she ended up cheating on him because she really wanted to be with her ex-boyfriend, who was like some conservative white guy or whatever. She kept talking about him. I met her later on, but didn't know that this was the situation. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
then he want to come back and say, oh, you know what, I just want a black girl, like I just want to be with a black woman, like I don't want to date out, I want to just be with a black woman, I see myself with a black woman. And
Okay.
then and I was like, oh, okay, but you dated, like, white women. You was engaged to a white woman. So, you know, then it's okay for black women to date white men then, right? He's like, oh no, black women, no, I don't like to see that. I don't like to see no black woman date no white man. She need to be dating a black man, especially, especially a woman like you a beautiful black woman. I wouldn't want to see you with no white man. So let me get this straight. You're okay dating a white woman, but you're not okay with black women dating a white man.
Everybody in the comments who's a black person, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's okay for black women to date outside their race? And is it okay for black men to date outside their race?
I've even had black men who've had babies with white women.
Right.
And then turn around and say, oh, you can't be dating no white man. Right. You had a whole baby with a white woman. But because
and then when you do date a white
and
man,
you see in your own situation,
this person
now
said,
you're like, oh, but now I want to date black women and they can't be going to the other race. Oh, but she can't go do what you just did.
No,
she can't do what she's because doing, she has more success what she does what you just did, and you don't have success when you do what you did, because we all know the rates of when black men marry white women, they have a higher divorce rate. Even when black men and black women marry, white women and black men have like the lowest, they have the highest divorce rate, right? And then if black white women, yeah, they have the highest divorce rate. And then with white men and black women, they have a lower divorce rate than even white men and white women. I think that was like actually the thing. So it's very interesting because they already know. And then they'll say, oh, well, he doesn't really like you and he's only here for you for a fetish. And it was like, oh, because she was only with you for a fetish. Because that's the only other reason. I mean, come on, people.
And it's so crazy because when you're dating outside of your race, right? And I know I was dating outside of my race, and this guy that I'm close with told me, he was like, oh, I didn't know you was zaddy worshiping. Excuse me?
King says, Kat and Issa, with all of this, your love and relationship knowledge and ideas, it's very risky for you guys. Laugh out loud. I love the way you guys tackle Quest. I mean, it's not risky for me because risky I'm already in a relationship.
Risky for what? I don't know. Like, risky for what reason?
For what? It's actually pretty good to have this type of knowledge. He says black men marry white women because of poverty. Laugh out loud.
Usually that black man isn't. I feel like he's a provider to his white woman sometimes.
Or she wouldn't really be there unless she's like obviously a bottom shelf Becky and overweight and you know
that's a different story.
Then y'all know
used.
What type of white woman y'all use.
Yeah, because once you're a black man,
you get the one that the white man don't want.
Right. You're dating a heavy set white woman. You're there because you want her to take care of her. You want her to take care of you because clearly you're not attracted to her unless you're attracted to big women.
Even lowers you as a man. It's like, dang, you don't want to work so bad that you're going to just get a woman that you're not even attracted to take care of you. That right there is horrible.
That's black men for you and white men in all other kind of.
That's just a dusty man, period.
That is a dusty man.
What race you are, like you're just to go marry and be with a woman that you're not even attracted to, just so you can not work.
Some of them do it because they also black men love children. I don't get it. They love children so much. They want to create.
I think black men. It's not that they love children. They just
they love to create children in the world and leave them alone.
They just like having irresponsible sex. It's not that they love children. It's not that they want to create children. They would love if a woman will continue to have abortions and take Plan Bs, but these women aren't doing it because they're just, in the delusion, and they think that this is going to bring them closer, but they just don't like being responsible.
No, they don't. I don't even think that they like using condoms. So I think that's exactly why
most
that's happening in the community. Oh yeah, it
Most
doesn't
men
matter if you're
don't.
black, white, whatever. It's just men, period.
Right.
They hate that condom stuff. They rather just go raw. And that's why there's a lot of children in this world. But a lot of black men who do have children, they want to make this beautiful baby, which will come from this Caucasian woman in herself or an Asian woman. They just want, their family line to be more exotic than what they have in their current family because they're a hater and they don't like black people
But then
because
in
they're mad that they
reality,
were
he's
born
not even
black.
going to be part of the family. That's the
Right.
reality. Is like you're creating something that you're not even going to be a part of, because in
Yeah.
the reality of it, most women who are Caucasian, they have children with black men. Those children end up growing up and then just being with another Caucasian person, and then so they actually just become white again. So they just reproduce and become white, and then their lineage is just come in white, and the black man never existed because they'll just wash you out with reproduction. Because it's not that
That
it's not
happens.
they're not even staying there for the white woman. You
Mm-mm.
know, they're not even being faithful to the white woman. Adele had
Oh
to
no, they
cancel
did
her whole tour, her whole show in
for her
Vegas
black
because
man.
she's dealing with a black man that's giving her a hard time, and she couldn't even keep it together and do a tour. So even if he is, black men are just not committed.
They're so black men are. What
Even
is
if
up with you
you're
guys?
successful,
Yeah,
you're Adele, you're doing that,
no,
he's
they
still
don't
gonna cheat on
care.
you.
They
So
don't care.
I'm
They
telling
have
you,
no
it's not
respect for women.
programmed in
Period.
them. It's not programmed for them to act like that.
Right.
That's why they'll sit there and say it's not natural to be, you know,
Just
in a
with
monogamous relationship, just with one
with
woman.
one woman.
And that's all nations. I mean, go to Africa. They have how many wives? That's promoted. Because, women's like, oh, well, I'll just go get an African man. He's going to do worse.
The same thing.
Oh, I'll just go and find this man. He's going to do worse. He's going to just use you. You can't go anywhere. Because if you go to any of these black countries and you're American, first of all, you're a come up. You're a come up. Anybody coming from, if you go into another country to find anybody, just know and you're American man or woman, you are a come up to that person, period.
Absolutely.
Not saying like, say if you're, just as first world countries like, America, UK, something like that, then that won't be the case. But if it's any other country that's second, third world country, yeah, you're gonna be
You're
a come up.
definitely a come up. Yeah,
You're a come up.
for sure.
And
So
once he gets on his feet, we all know where he's gonna go. He may
peace out.
still date black women, but he's gonna get a hotter, younger woman who didn't know about
They
you
always
paying
get
all the bills.
no,
And she's looking at him
no.
like, oh, he's the man. He just paid, he
Yeah,
gave me money and did this, not knowing that his
he
wife
was a
was
dusty
funding
before.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
And she's gonna
yeah.
look at him like he's the man.
And then she's
So
mad at him forever because he didn't give her that experience. Because why?
right.
He took care of him.
King says black men love sex.
They do. They're
You a
addicted.
black man, King, so you know.
Yeah.
Right.
You're talking about yourself.
It's true.
You guys are so
I mean,
addicted to
all
it.
men love sex. That's just like I said, it's not only black men, all men.
Yeah, we're just talking
That's
about black
why
men right
prostitution
now.
is alive and well. And there's no end in sight for it because that is something men will always want. I mean,
I mean, it's part
it's
of
hitting your
humanity
leg
to look
every
to.
day, reminding
Yeah.
you, hey, I'm down here. Show me some love. Stick me into something. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now.
Mhm.
It's like pounding. I mean, I don't have one, so I couldn't really tell you, but
Right.
So
We're women, we're just not like
we're
that.
just ready for it. That's it. We're ready to receive it, but we don't have to go out there and continue to look for it.
And the women who are like, oh my God, I need it now and stuff like that, they're just brainwashed to be like that because that's not a natural thing for women. We're not as, we're not like,
that was like,
we're not
speak for
programmed
yourself.
like men. No. I mean, no, because you know why? And the reality of it, you may think like people be trying to play themselves like, oh, sex is just sex and stuff like that. It's not really for women like that. If you're gonna have intercourse and have sex with somebody, you're gonna want that person to really love you and want you and like really
Yeah.
be there with you, and is gonna like really you want that emotional connection with them, and you want
And
to
you want
trust
that
them in that.
commitment from them. You don't want to
With
just
men, you
continue to
don't, they don't
let
think
people
like that.
just,
It's
yeah,
not
there's
all
no such
about
thing as,
commitment and
no,
being there
it's
for
about
me and stuff like
let's have a
that.
good time.
Let's have a good time.
Everything
Yeah.
is a good
With
time. Everything is
yeah,
a good
with
time.
women, it's like it's a good time, but
Want this
I
to be
might not
forever.
admit it because I don't want the good time to end with you, but I
Yeah.
actually do want this to be real. That's like what we
Yeah.
were saying before. No woman is, unless, she knows her worth, no
Mhm.
black woman is really sitting there turning down engagements with guys that they, first of all, had children with.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't I
no.
don't really see that happening. I don't.
Well, unless you're over him and you're done, then maybe not.
Yeah,
But
if you're over him and done with him, but I'm talking about if you're like full blown in the baby mama stage and trying to
make
have
this
some type
work.
of relationship, if he got down on his knees and was like,
You're saying yes.
marry
Yeah.
me, you're saying yes. Even if he is a dusty, you're still
Yeah.
saying yes. No.
Because you want to make sure that you have, a real family. You're not walking around just having children and then your hands are empty. No
Right.
rings. I mean, I need my ring. Okay.
Right. I
I'm
just
not
think,
making any
you know,
commitments with people unless there's a ring. There's
don't let
been
these guys
years.
fertilize your egg and use up your
No, your
womb
eggs are
and
not
make
going
you
anywhere. I
carry
don't
a
know why
baby for
ladies are
somebody for
such
free.
in a
And it's for
rush.
free. It's like,
Yeah.
yo, you gonna make me do all this and not stick around and you want me to do this for free?
Yeah.
That's not very American
You
of
want
you.
me to get
I
fat,
believe in
have
a
stretch
capitalist
marks,
society,
have a
honey.
baby,
I
have
need to be
morning
compensated for this
sickness?
work.
You want me
Right.
to have morning sickness, and you want me
Right.
to look fat, and you want my nose to
Stretch
grow, and
marks,
you want all the,
everything, overweight,
and I
messed up
just lost
face,
weight
might
last
lose
week.
some hair.
I
Right.
lost weight
Right.
last week and I started looking much better, and now you're telling me
Right.
I need to go get pregnant? No.
Right. For
Sorry.
you who didn't commit to me, didn't give me anything, didn't
Didn't get on
prove
one knee.
anything, didn't get
Nothing.
on one knee,
Didn't
didn't
buy us
buy
a
a ring,
house.
didn't
Didn't
get us a
do
house.
something different.
You ain't did shit.
Didn't even go
And you
get a
want me to give
job.
you a baby? Oh,
Stop it.
didn't even get a job. Didn't even get a job while I was pregnant. I was like, dang.
I'm still working.
Hell no. Hell to the no.
Stop it.
And claiming stay at home dad. Like, no, I am not having a baby for you to stay home. Why are you staying home?
Girl,
I
we've
had
been
the
here for
baby.
2 hours. We need to go.
Okay, well then we gotta go because this is gonna keep getting real. It's like that one always trips me up with these. I'll be a stay at home dad. I had the baby. What are you
I
stay
want
at
to be a
home
stay at
for?
home mom. Go get 20
You want to
jobs.
stay home and you didn't even push a baby out. You
Oh my
wasn't even
God.
carrying the baby and you want to stay home? Stay
You
home
gotta
for
check
what?
these men because they can check.
Because
They
if
can
I
play
go outside
you.
and work, I'm gonna go get another man.
Right.
Because I'm gonna go get that boss, or I'm gonna get the guy who keeps flirting with me. Because apparently you don't want me to be your wife.
No, you just want me to be your baby
And
mama.
if I was a surrogate, no, because now you want me to be a surrogate. That means you want me to have the baby and give it to you. So since I'm a surrogate, let me go on with my life. I ain't taking care of no baby, and that's your baby. Period. I guess, and those surrogates get paid handsomely.
Oh
So
my
I
God! Did
expect
you not see the?
thousands of
I seen an
dollars in my
ad
bank account.
that told me I can
Yeah.
get 170K to go have
Yeah,
this baby.
I expect 70 to 100K in my bank
Right.
account in the next 3 days after I push out this baby. Half first when I'm impregnated, and then the other half after 3 days of the baby's birth.
Ladies, start checking these men because why do they have commercials telling us about these egg stuff?
Right.
And you over here pushing out
Give
babies
that
for free.
man back his baby and say, here you go.
Here's
You want
know
to
what?
stay
I'm
at
gonna go
home.
see a
Okay, well here
lawyer.
you go, surrogate.
Right.
I'm your surrogate.
Here's this baby.
And you stay at home, stay at your own home. You ain't staying in my home because
Check these
stay at
men.
home.
These black men and all these race men that treat you like crap,
These
that are
clowns. You
dusty.
gonna stay home and hang out with the baby and play video games, and you want me to go work while my pussy just got stitched up. Okay,
Right.
let me just
Can't even pee properly.
Okay, got it. Clown. That's what you're telling me that I am. You're saying I'm a
Women,
clown.
they don't realize
Called disrespect.
This is why we can't be in these
Very
predicaments.
disrespectful.
Because we'll make
So
these
if
men
you're
cry.
saying, good luck on the tackling the quest, if that's the test, then
I don't think
a ring will save you. One of my girls is married but still
she
run
married a
things.
Dusty.
I need advice because she married the wrong type of guy.
Exactly.
And the ring is not supposed to save you. It's supposed to secure the situation that, okay, first of all, if you end up messing up, that's you gonna have to pay. See, this is you protecting yourself. But if you marry a Dusty that don't got nothing, then what was the
this is the thing. I would never marry somebody just to be married, not just to have the ring.
No,
like it's not about that. It's not even about his money. It's about the love that you carry for. This is a partnership. I'm married to the partnership of it all.
Right.
Like it comes
if
down
he's
to
not
that.
your partner, then no. Why would you even marry? That's the whole thing about
We're not
partnership.
just marrying because we want a ring on our finger. The ring is beautiful. It's a nice statement. Like I always have a ring, but it's not like defined. It's not saving a goddamn thing. It's actually just beautiful on my hand. But the partnership of the man who I decide to be my husband and who is actually providing me with the things that I enjoy in this relationship and that I want to continue to live this life with them for the rest of my life. And it's not just because, he's rich or he's this. Like there's a real partnership. His money's my money.
What are you saying? Wait. So is he saying so one of your girl is married, but we still run things? I need advice, so it means I can have over. Love is wicked. Okay, so you messing with a married woman? Is that what you're trying to say?
The juice.
Well, if that's what you're saying,
and why
you messing with a married woman?
You see what I'm talking about? These black men, they out here dating.
You already on the wrong end of it, because
but he already know he don't have no commitment for himself.
Yeah, then you just show you don't have no commitment for yourself, and you're
they don't have no commitment that they're gonna accept somebody who's already taken.
Yeah,
that's black men for you.
Right.
Prime example. Thank you.
And that's even her. Like, why would you even, if you already married, why are you even dealing with another guy?
Because she married the wrong man. She don't care about that man she married.
So you must be doing a lot. What are you giving her? Because
you taking care of her too? Why would she even
be messing with you? See, that's the thing with women. It's like, you dusty too, girl.
Yeah.
Because what are you even doing messing with a guy if you already married? If you married the wrong guy, get a divorce. And don't do the, like, what are you even doing?
It's like, divorce this man and start messing with this guy named King.
Yeah, he's messing with a married woman. And that's, I mean,
why you chose to mess with a married woman?
I don't even,
because you just want to get
to me.
Because you love sex, like you told us.
I think that's right. This is a prime example,
like, ladies and gentlemen, of black men.
Yeah.
Right there.
I mean, there's not only black men who do that. I mean,
I'm just talking about prime example
married women too.
He's the one that said black love. Where's the black love? If he loved black women, he would not disrespect black women who are married and not deal with her, because I respect the black man at home. So I won't, I won't take his woman.
He says no, she loves me and I'm not into her. It's just vibes. And the reason why you're not into her, because you don't have no respect for the woman, because she don't have no respect for her man. Like,
exactly.
This is the thing. Women, you sit here messing your whole marriage up, your whole life up, because you probably married the wrong guy. And instead of doing the right thing, which is ending things with the other guy, you go and jump in another situation with a guy who don't even care about you, but is about to go mess up your whole relationship because your husband will find out.
He always will.
See how this whole thing is all lack of self-love, lack of self-worth, just dusty.
She's dusty.
She's definitely dusty, and that's why he even knows that she's dusty. He even knows that she's dusty, because even through all that, he doesn't even love her.
First of all, she's dusty because she can't be honest with herself and say, you know what? I am not happy in my relationship. I no longer will accept a man in my life that I I think that's useless. Because clearly
Right.
he's useless. You can't spend time with him, quality time with him, or find him
Right.
attractive or want to be
Right.
around him because you just
Yep.
found this. Maybe King might be younger than her, just found this younger, funner
Right.
looking, talks to me, gives me compliments, and I like him.
Right.
No matter if you maybe said something nice to her, and all of a sudden
Right.
she's attracted to you because you're doing something different that her man is not offering her. And so that is why she's deciding to do what she's doing.
He said confused generation. Right. It
Right.
is confused. No matter, I mean, this generation, the last generation before us, and the generation coming up now, all
Mm-hmm.
messed up.
Oh, all messed up.
All just a mess.
Just a
Because
mess.
like you said, Kat, is like it comes down to it, is like her self-worth is like
Down the
below, because
drain.
she can't even come into truth with herself. It's like if
No.
you're not happy in your marriage, you can't even be woman enough to be like, I'm not happy here. I don't even like my husband.
Maybe she doesn't have
I
enough
married
money
the
to
wrong
take.
guy.
Maybe she doesn't have enough to change her life yet. Maybe she don't have enough financially. She's not
But
secure. It
okay,
might
so
be
if,
his
if if
home.
that's the case, let me tell you something. If I'm married and I'm not happy in my relationship and I'm not financially there yet, guess who I'm cheating with? Someone who's going to take me out of that situation. I'm
Right.
not cheating with a guy who doesn't even love me. I'm going to cheat with a guy who's completely obsessed with me and is going to get me out of
Yeah.
this situation.
Right.
That's who I'm cheating with. I'm going to cheat with a guy who has a lot
But
more.
she doesn't have that kind of mindset. So
Her husband is 9 years older than her. That don't mean nothing.
exactly. Well, but that's exactly why she can't go anywhere in her head.
That's
I
why
feel
she
like
can't go
he's taking
nowhere.
care of her and she doesn't have, she
Right.
financially can't
And the
take care of herself.
reality of it is that she's gonna fall she's gonna figure out sooner than rather than later, is that when he does find out he does
He's
divorce
gonna
her,
leave her and
she's
she's not
gonna
gonna get a
realize
dime.
that you, like the guy, early marriage, early damage, right? But she's gonna figure out that you, like the rest of these guys out here, aren't gonna love her, aren't gonna take her seriously, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, she didn't take herself seriously.
And it's
Like
okay.
that's
Like,
the thing. You learn, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, how old is she? You'll let us know how old she is,
Mhm.
and then we'll do the rest of the math. But if it's coming, she sounds pretty young, and that's like just like a young dumb thing to do. But she's gonna learn. But messing with a guy who's not even like into you like that, saying that is just vibes, for me to cheat on my husband with a guy for just vibes, like, nah, that's not happening. I don't even care if I don't love the guy. Like, I'll pick up a hobby. Like, if it's for
Yeah.
attention, do something with yourself. Get busy, start a business, but mess with I hope I'm not at fault. Of course you're at fault. You know she's married.
You're entertaining her.
What?
Clearly,
You
it's just
what the
vibes. You're
heck?
not telling her,
See,
oh,
this
hey,
is
I'm
the
not
thing.
interested.
Y'all don't want to take responsibility for the
No.
parts you play in. You know you at fault. You know you're at
You said
fault. You
something
should have
so
no
sweet.
business. You know, sometimes, because some guys will be like, because this is what a lot of guys will say, and the guys who said it to me have been black. They try to hear, oh, what's up and stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm married, so you can't have friends.
Mm-hmm. Their favorite line.
What do you mean I can't have friends? Sir, I am married. I just told
It was
you
like,
that.
that's okay. Sometimes you can't talk to your husband. You can talk to me.
She's just 23. Yeah, so
Exactly.
she's only married a 32-year-old guy. So that guy's not even old. So she's messing up already. She's just
I
too
don't know
young.
why
She
she would
didn't.
do that. I mean, first of all,
She's kind
she's
of
not too
she's
young
young, and
because
she's gonna realize.
she's not too young because there's 23-year-olds who are married and but they have their mind together, and it's
Their
really
mind
comes
is
down to
together.
like
She got married
what
for the right
right.
or wrong
They
reasons,
got
but
they got married for the right reason. She got married just because she
for
wanted
the
to be
wrong
married.
reason. Yeah. She didn't get
And
married with the right intention of what
no,
marriage was about.
no, she
And
didn't.
they're
She didn't
only going
really
to
do
get
her
divorced
research.
because she's so young, and she's going to
Yeah.
change by the time she's 27, 28. She's going to become a different person and move
Mm-hmm.
further and further away from her man. And if they get married, divorced before then, she's probably gonna start even regretting getting divorced by that time, because she's gonna be like,
She couldn't
dang, these
just talk to
streets
him.
ain't really, yeah, these
There's
streets ain't
nothing out
really what I
there.
thought they were. And I was
Mm-mm.
sitting here cheating on him with another guy who doesn't even care about me. And you think, you say you're innocent, but you're not, because you know she's married. You don't have innocence here. What innocent? The red tape is, she is taken, and you're like, but I'm still gonna go there because she's allowing me to. What the
Mhm.
hell? No, you're not innocent. And why do you even want to claim innocence? See, this is the thing. It's like, if you're gonna do your dirt, be honest about it. Stop. Don't be a coward and say, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. When you know you're not innocent. You know how you're innocent? If you're ignorant. If you didn't know she was married, but you knew she was married and
Beat
you
him,
still did
Papa.
it. You even know the situation in there. So instead of minding your business and saying, dang, that's crazy, you need to go handle that, you sat there and said, this is a good time to put my penis inside of you. So yes, you
How
are
you
not
know he did
innocent.
that?
You
Maybe
are
he
in,
didn't do that. Maybe he didn't do that. Maybe he didn't do
girl.
all those things that you said. He probably said something sweet to her.
What did he
And
say? What did
I
he
don't
say
know.
in the
I can't
beginning?
see. I can't
One
see
of
what he
my
said.
girl, one of
Ooh.
my girls. And so not even, that's one of his girls.
See?
So that means that you have other girls.
He got a train back there.
See,
These guys be telling you their
there's
truth.
no
One of my girls.
innocence. There's no innocence. Okay, so well, I'm gonna get off topic on that real quick, because there was even a post, a girl on TikTok. She was sitting there, and I showed you the video, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to play it, but I don't have it here, so I can't pull it up.
I could
But
play
I'll
it.
give you guys the details.
I could play the sound.
No, but I want to do the actual video. So if you could send me the video.
Oh, you want to? Oh, okay. She's cute because other people put it on.
But you know, I could explain it.
No, but I like the. You guys can't see me anymore. Huh?
But yeah, you were not innocent, King. You were just
King,
not innocent.
you
So
literally beat
don't,
him to the bone. He could
yeah,
feel
like,
the
don't claim innocence. Like, be
spikes.
about it. Be a man about yours. Yeah, I'm not innocent. I know she's married and I still went for it. Okay. Like, take that, and like, what's so hard with saying your truth? Why do you have to claim innocence when you're not ignorant? Only the ignorant can be innocent. So unless you're going to claim ignorance, then you are not innocent. I think Jesus said that.
Exactly. Did he?
Yeah, Jesus did say that. You can only be forgiven. People misread the Bible and think you're going to get forgiven even if you're like, you know, you're doing wrong. Like, no, you're only forgiven if you're innocent. I mean, ignorant. You didn't know better, so you didn't do better. But as soon as you know better, you cannot
You'll do
claim
better.
innocence. Right. Because then you already know the deal. Because that's the same thing. It's like, oh, if I go and I got burnt by some fire, and I'm like, oh, I never touched fire before, so I got burnt. It's like, oh, shoot, you know, you're an innocent person that got burnt. But if then after that, I keep on going and touching the fire and getting burnt, am I really innocent? They're like, you like getting burned. You just like that feeling, huh? Because why you keep doing that? This is not it. This is
That's
not
what
what
he
I'm
said.
talking about.
Which one did you?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. So it's fine. So there was this girl. She was, so I'll tell you guys in words. Okay, let's hear what King got to say. It's a long story. She left me for the guy, but it was the wrong turn. Now she's feeling me. No. She left you for a guy who was more serious with her, and now she's sitting here
Yeah.
trying to double back, because I'm pretty sure you were on her line trying to say, "Oh, I hope everything's good. You know, just checking on you." And you know, y'all know how y'all
You know you
play.
checked
Because
in. You checked in.
if
I
that was
seen
the
you
thing,
was married.
you were sitting here trying to check in, and that was the case. So I'm gonna come for you, because that's, yeah.
And
What
first of
you
all,
saying?
you
I
wasn't
don't
trying to
fall
connect
in
her.
love. I walk in love, and you didn't walk in for her because you didn't choose her. You let her marry another man. So what is the point of you being there if not you just trying to get your rocks off still? You trying to have your cake and eat it too and claim you're innocent.
You want
You're
to
not
see if she's
innocent
still interested
because you
in
should have respected. You should have respected the fact that she married another man and
I
been
thought
like,
you
all
said
right, cool,
black
because I
love,
wasn't gonna
King.
do it. He was the better man for you. That's what a real man does. Say, oh yeah, we had our thing, but you know what? You found a better man for you because he actually married you. So I think you should stick it out with him because I ain't trying to do that. No matter how she feel, that's a real conversation, and that's you saying, hey, I'm backing out. You already chose your thing. I'm not gonna sit here and mess up with nothing of that. And people claim to be God fearing and stuff like that, and they messing up the sanctity of marriage. Like in reality, it's like what you really claiming. Do you really believe it? No, you just want to continue to get your penis wet, and so you're willing to go say and do whatever it is to continue to get that type of situation. Because if the manly thing for you to do would have been like you got the better man for you, you should definitely go marry him. Because I'm not gonna do it. That's being real. Yeah, you should go with him because he married you, and I'm not gonna marry you right now. I don't see that in our future right now. That's
But
being
what
real.
happened to his black love? Like, he's clearly
That's what
showing
he
that.
said. He said, "I don't fall in love. I walk in love." Well, you
But what
walking too
happened to
slow.
black love?
So,
Why wouldn't he, as
period.
a black person, and maybe she might
There
be a
is
black
no. That's why I told
woman,
you the black
why
love
not be
thing is a
happy for
fake.
her love? Why not be happy for her love? Just be happy. Because there's no
King,
real
you a
black
whole
love.
mess. But thank you for sharing. We love all this content,
We love
but you a
you,
mess.
King. But we want to know where the
Right.
black
I
love
mean,
is.
no, I'm not saying you're a problem. I'm saying that you are just
Part of
you're
it.
not taking responsibility for your part in it, and you think that you're acting like you're innocent when you're not. You're just not innocent. But it's okay if you own up to your part and say, "Yeah, I'm not innocent," because I'm in this. I'm just doing what I do. Fine, we can accept that. But to claim
They
innocence,
don't want
that's
to
never
claim
gonna
that
work.
they can't commit.
They don't want to be honest.
They don't
Just
want
be
to be
honest.
honest. Like, at this time, I do not want to commit to
It
anybody.
wasn't gonna work, but if you still want to, mess with me, I'm still open to
I'm
it because I
open.
don't care about your marriage. That's
Right.
honesty. That's saying, you know
You
what?
don't
I
care
actually
about it.
don't
I
care
don't care.
about your marriage,
If you don't care about your
and
marriage,
you
I don't
don't
care
care.
about
I
it
don't
either.
care.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you can tell her. It's
So,
like, you don't care. I don't care
but
too.
anyways, what I was gonna tell you guys was the story of this woman on TikTok. She was saying that she was talking to a guy for 2 days,
Oh, you didn't
talking
tell me
to
that.
him for 2 days. I didn't send you that. It was on the
You
thing.
just told me about it. Yeah.
I showed you it. King said fair deal. Okay, King,
Good
I'm glad
boy.
that you came to the light. Period.
Mhm.
Okay, so this woman, she was talking to this guy for 2 days or whatever,
Mhm.
and you know what? I do want to find it.
Yeah, you find it. But
Give me a
King,
second, guys.
I will speak to King, but I'm happy that you actually, took responsibility with the fair deal, because at the end of the day, be honest. Like, these girls will take you with your honesty. If you tell them, like, hey, I don't care about no real relationship, the girls that's willing to let go of, like, their pride and self-esteem, they're gonna go ahead and join you. But the women who don't, just let them walk away because they weren't for you anyways. So keep it real. I
Right,
think the main thing for men to do is keep it real with these girls. They're gonna take whatever you say anyways. So it's like, who cares? If you don't want to be in a
right,
committed relationship, that's fine. But don't sit there and waste women's time because she's not gonna ask you, are we in a serious relationship? Blah 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 blah. Just let her know, I'm not looking for nothing serious. You know?
right.
So it is what it is, and nobody's going to be, upset about it. They're going to actually, accept or decline. And that's it. Tonight is actually really juicy. I love that because we're giving you guys all the time that we have missed. We've been gone since November. Could you believe that? So if you're still on here rocking with
My
us after
internet
these
may
two
be a little
hours,
slow,
please make sure
so
you hit the like, the share, and
I
also go
don't
to
want
our
this.
social media, Nothing's Wrong Podcast. Okay. And then also, I said in the beginning, me and Isabel have our own YouTube channel. Hers is called Isabel Lapierre. Mine's is called Catherine Lapierre. So go ahead and check those videos out too. And yeah, thank you so much for even rocking with us. I can't believe, um, you know, we have you guys, when we show up, there's a bunch of you guys still, chatting with us, staying up with us, shooting the S with us, and This is really insightful information. I think us being honest about what we want as men and women and letting people accept whatever it is
Okay,
that we're given. So
let
yeah,
me
let's tune into what
try
Isabel
to
has
do
to
this.
give us.
I'm gonna try to shut down everything that I have here,
Oh, don't
and
shut us
then
down.
no,
I
I'm
do
not.
need to
I'm
find
just trying to
a
make the internet
charger.
go a little faster. Okay.
Let me see how many parts I have. I have like 5 of.
Okay, so can you guys see me? Okay. All right. Let me just
I'm glad that you found it. But I do need to find a charger before my things die. Oh, I can't hear a thing. I can't hear.
Give you guys a quick little tip on how to make a first impression last. Okay, so I've been talking to someone for literally like 2 days now, and we decided to have our first meetup, link, date, whatever you want to call it. And just through our conversation, I know for a fact he is an avid cigar smoker. He enjoys a good cigar over a glass of brandy or whiskey. I can't remember which one. I think it was whiskey. But I picked up on that little mental note. And I remembered that my dad is an avid cigar smoker and he has a really nice collection. So before getting on the road for our date today, I decided to stop by my parents' house and actually pick up a cigar. And my dad actually threw in a cigar cutter. And my mom, being the mom that she is, was like, "Oh my God, Samara, you can't take it just like that and hand a cigar and a cutter, wrap it." And I'm like, "Well, what do I have to wrap it with?" Her crafty self had some twine in a paper bag. So I wrapped his cigar in literally a paper bag I folded up and some twine, and I really hope this is a good first impression. Hey, you guys. So I wanted to give you guys a quick little... So here's an update. He loved the gift. Loved it. He said he's never received like a gift on a first date ever before, so it really made me stand out. And we actually drove to a little point in Baltimore that is his favorite spot. It was by the water, and we actually stayed in the car because it was cold. But he showed me how to cut the cigar. He explained like the whole breakdown of cigars and how there's different levels. And we actually got to smoke the cigar, and he showed me how to smoke it properly because in the past I used to choke. But he definitely told me like this made me stand out, and he's very appreciative for me just listening and picking up on little things. And he actually surprised me by taking me to a record store because I mentioned to him I was trying to grow my vinyl collection that I had. So he surprised me as well. And yeah, ladies, I will keep you posted on this one because he's a good one.
Giving really much pick me vibe. Pick me, and pick me. My stuff is gonna die out of here, and I really just want to say that was real pick me.
Wait, you're dying?
I'm dying, but I'm gonna get my stuff because I want to really talk about this. You can go ahead and say your piece, and I'll be right back.
Well, everyone's talking to you, so let's take a quick little break.
Let's take a quick little break. Let's play this music video real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Do you have something to play for
We'll
them?
have a little quick break and we'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you took our sound off. Great. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. Oh, Are we back on live? Sorry, but could we play that video tap for sound?
Hey guys,
Hello.
we're
Are we
back.
back on?
Are we live, Charlamagne?
Are we live, Charlie? Can we play that video back one more time?
I knew you was gonna say that.
One more time for the people who missed it.
Okay.
For the people who don't understand what's going on.
For the people in the back that came late.
Right. Some people just tuned in. Shoot. We've been here for 2 hours and 21 minutes.
Have we?
That's what it says. This is fun.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back on for you guys, and we're gonna run through it one more time. Cause I wanna,
She's special.
just wanna dig a little deep in that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we missed some information.
Okay. I don't think we missed anything, but
Can't hear a thing.
Okay, so I've been talking to someone for literally like 2 days now, and we decided to.
Real echo. Can't hear a thing.
you couldn't hear?
No echo.
How could you not hear? That's so weird. Okay.
Still can't hear. Okay, if we can't hear, it's okay. We got it. If we can't hear her. We are not hearing her. It's okay.
How are you not hearing? Like, I literally had it on, so there was
Yeah,
no
it's all
way
right.
you couldn't hear it. I think it was probably just you couldn't hear it.
Oh, somebody in the comments down below, they couldn't hear either.
Nobody said anything.
Did you hear her?
There's no way you couldn't hear because I have it playing and I can hear it.
Well, usually when I heard it the first time, I heard it, but we can't
Okay.
hear it.
Well,
But it's okay.
anyways, I'll run it through what she did. So she was talking to a guy for 2 days, and she thought it was a good idea to bring him a gift on the first day. He said no sound. Okay. I want you guys to hear it. Okay.
Okay, then work your magic.
Let me just okay, guys. All right. Okay. I'm going to figure this out.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for her to figure it out. And yeah. So you saying that somebody met somebody 2 days, met them in person. This is just a recap. Met them in person. Woman buys a gift. Actually didn't buy a gift. Got a gift that matches the man she met in 2 days personality. Correct? And she thought to make an impression.
First of all, let's just add it in and let's try again.
Nothing. No sound.
It's not even playing.
It's playing,
Okay,
but
so I
echo.
decided to have our first meetup, date, whatever you want to call it. And just through our conversation, I know for a fact he is an addict.
Echo.
Enjoys a cigar over a glass of.
Now we can't hear anything. No sound. No. No. This lady in her electronics is not working.
I don't know how it's not working. Like, that's so weird.
We can hear you, so maybe we can hear it now.
What? You heard it the first time, right?
Yeah, but it was echo, as if there's 2 things playing at the same time.
Yeah, because I can hear it on here, and that's why I muted my mic on here. Hold on. Technology.
It's okay. You don't have to be,
Y'all just gonna have to take what I'm saying.
Okay, just put your computer or something far away. We can't hear. It worked perfect last time. Nope. Just put the echo and just put whatever's close by for a little further. Okay, is she gonna press play? Well, we can't hear a thing. You went away and we still can't hear. Not working. No sound.
I hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't hear her.
It's okay. We need to employ an engineer. Yeah, we do need to employ an engineer.
Okay,
You guys
yeah,
already know the beginning of this podcast a
That's
year
why.
ago when we used to have audio issues. It ain't my fault. Okay. I do
Okay,
the
well,
best I can.
if you think so, there's always hit up the cash at $ nothing's wrong pod, and we can definitely hire and employ an engineer.
So basically, I'll give you guys a rundown of what was said. You can actually go back in the video when we did play and the sound was there. She basically said that she was talking to a guy for 2 days. They decided that they were going to meet up after the 2 days. She remembered in a conversation with him that he said he likes to smoke cigars. Her father smokes cigars as well, so she decided it would be a good idea to bring him a gift of a cigar from her dad's collection. When she went to her family's house, her dad gave her the cigar, a cutter, and her mother told her to wrap up the gift. She goes on the date, which was actually a car date. It wasn't even a dinner date. They were just sitting in the car to overlook his favorite spot on a lake for them to look out in. She brought him the cigar. He said, "Wow, this is great. I've never received a gift on the first date." He said that it gave a great impression and it made her stand out. He said that she said that they then he taught her about the cigar. They smoked the cigar together and he taught her how to smoke the cigar. And then he brought her to a record store because he remembered that she wanted to build on her vinyl collection. And so he brought her to the record store and she thought that this was a great date and he's a pretty good catch. So
okay. I'm still.
So let's start at the beginning.
Pick me vibe.
It's all
when she's telling me that she, out of the 2-day conversation, she picked up that this fella likes to smoke cigars and decided to.
Before we get into it, let's see what King says. King says, Kat and Issa, is it possible that I can be streaming your podcast on my radio and publish it on our pages? I wish to have your episodes weekly if possible. It's interesting. Yes, you can definitely stream our podcast on your radio and publish it on our pages. Yeah, if you have a radio show, I mean, hit us up and we can figure that out. But yeah, you can definitely we can definitely talk about that.
Yeah,
being on. I didn't know that you had a podcast radio publishing page. So yeah, for sure. But go ahead. Yeah, let's
I'm
talk
just
about
coming
that,
down
King.
with the conclusion of what Pick Me just gave us. So she vibed off of him and found out, oh, he smokes cigars. My daddy smokes cigars, so I'm gonna go with my daddy stuff. And my dad was like, okay, yeah, you can give him this. And then her mom, I thought she was gonna say, oh no, don't do that. She said, oh no, you can't give it to him cut. You need to wrap it up.
So basically, she took the role as a man and brought him the date. But the thing of it is, the whole problem is, I don't care if she didn't spend money. Why are you doing what he should be doing for you? This is the thing that women keep on messing up. They keep on doing for men what they want men to do for them. She wanted him to do something like that. So she decided, I'm going to do it for him because I want him to do it for me. If he's not doing it for you, it's not his intention.
The gift, if I had this idea.
Why am I bringing a man a gift on the first date? And he's not even taking me. First of all, I would never do it. But he's not even taking you to dinner. You sat in a car.
First of all.
And if I knew that I was sitting in the car. This is a good tip for women to do. You were going, so I'm just getting to the meat and potatoes of it because it's like, this is advice that she's giving women to do, which is basically courting a man. Why would you do that?
But if I was her and made that pick me decision of giving him something that belongs to my father, why would I give it to him when I noticed that we're staying in the car?
Right.
First of all, I
No,
would
because
never
she knew she
choose
was
to
staying
give
in the
that.
car because she said we're gonna go hang out, link thing, kind of thing. She didn't say a date because she knew it wasn't a date.
Okay.
She knew it wasn't a date. And then what did he say when she gave it to him? He said, "You stand out."
That's another thing I
From
noticed.
who?
From others.
That means he got a whole roster. And because you gave this, that he's like, oh, she liked me a lot.
Well, yeah.
Look, this is what I'm saying. Women playing the game backwards. What are y'all doing?
They're so thirsty to be picked that they're trying to do things to stand out. She knew that she would stand out from others. She knew that there would be others because, first of all, they most likely found each other online. You said 2 days of speaking, and then on the second time they were deciding to link up, but not going on a date, but linking up to what? Be in the freezing cold and sit down and chat with each other. First of all, she also claimed that she was
did
winning.
that on the phone.
He taught her how to smoke a cigar good. So you mean to tell me your dad, who's a professional, never told you how to smoke a cigar, and that as a woman that you shouldn't even be smoking a cigar unless you're on the yacht shaking your ass on the yacht, like some African girls on that little TikTok thing. Right. You ain't sitting there smoking a cigar inside of a car. A car?
But no, you made a good point. Your dad didn't teach. Did you just tell us your dad is it? So he didn't teach you this already? So first of all, you got a Dusty who got you sitting in the car in the cold, bringing you to overlook a lake that's cold that you can't even go outside in. He didn't even think to feed you. Then you got him like, how old is she? Look old. She's well in her 30s.
You know what the other problem is? Is the parent.
And she's a cute girl.
It's the parent. She started being cute when she was telling us the second.
And that's
she started being cute when she had the second
because they be having moms and dads, and that's the issue with these women because they be having moms and dads that leave them for dead and make them do stupid ass decisions, and it's just like you sent your daughter out there, and you would think the mom would have sense when she was like, no, wrap it. Mom, did you do the same thing to get dad, or did dad do that for you?
Yes. Dad is the Dusty too. All the cigars you see, I bought them. And I wrapped them real well when I gave it to him.
You setting up your daughter for failure because guess what that man's going to think? She's obsessed with me, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this whole situation to my advantage. And the girl who's not that obsessed with me, i.e. a girl like me, that's going to sit there like, oh, I just came to eat. Oh,
we're not eating?
First of all, I'm not going on the date if you didn't tell me the restaurant.
Who's driving?
She drove there and then got in his car.
Get out of here.
And then they watched
the sunset.
I don't know who's driving because she didn't say that detail. But I'm mad that she was giving advice. This was advice she was giving to women to do so they can stand out. And I'm like, girl, you're not overweight. You're not ugly.
She's cute.
You're actually cute.
Take the glasses off.
Yes, without the glass. When she was in her bed with her scarf on and no makeup, I was like, you're actually cute.
Yeah. I was like, oh, no makeup. Really beautiful
And you're
woman.
giving advice to women to be pick-me's to a man who can't even feed you. What type of Dusty thing is that?
Why does he deserve a gift?
And then she said, this is a good one. What?
Where?
And the biggest part is that he took you to a record store. He didn't even buy you a record.
Because
if he bought you a record, you would have said it. Because we all know women, you would have said it.
Yeah, we brag when somebody does something good for us.
When a guy does something nice, you're going to say what he did. You're not going to just say...
You're going to show us the record. And this is the record he got me, too.
Yeah, he bought me the record. He bought me my favorite record. And you know something? If he was listening to that conversation the same way that you were listening to the conversation, he would have brought you a record for the first date.
Yeah.
That he would have brought you that.
I bet you he didn't even ask her any questions. She was asking all the questions, and he didn't ask her nothing about her. He didn't ask her where she's from. He was looking to sleep
with that girl.
Nothing. Okay? Yeah.
That was it. And she's sitting here thinking that he's a good one. And she's sitting here thinking he's a good one because you bought him a gift, and he said that, oh, this makes you stand out from the rest. That he's a good one. The rest?
No.
You stand out?
There was
Excuse
too
me?
many red flags.
The whole thing was a red flag. And the fact of it is that she didn't see any of them.
And she was like, wish me luck, basically. like, girl,
you're about to jump off the cliff, ma'am. Like, we all see
that
you
one is
about to
not
die.
it.
And then people in the comments were like, oh, like most women were like, oh my God, hell no, like she's doing too much. That's pick me. What's she doing and stuff like that. What everybody was turned off from him saying like it made you stand out, because that right there is telling right there, like, girl, what are you even doing? And then other women was like, well, you know, she didn't spend any money and it was just something that she wanted to do.
She spent gas.
It's not about the money.
She spent gas and she took her dad's stuff, which cost money, because that belongs to her family.
That I don't care if you spent money or you didn't spend money. You don't do things like that for men.
Unless it's his birthday and you're trying to be nice.
Period.
It's not a holiday.
Because he doesn't
you
care
barely
about
know
that.
this guy.
Really
he has to court you.
You really think men sit there and think, oh, she bought me. She really was listening to me and she did that. No.
He's going to forget that you did that for him.
That's what women do. Men sit there and say, oh, she was hot as hell. She was looking good as hell.
That's all he cared about. Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? The girl because he went on 2 dates that night. He went on that easy date with you, and you did that nice thing. And then he went on the hard date with the girl who wouldn't even take drinks and said, no, I don't even really drink like that. I only do dinner. And now he got to go spend money on dinner. Mm-hmm. Guess which one he's really interested in is going to be really focused on dealing with.
He likes to focus on the ones that's hard to get.
Right.
Because he's like,
not
oh,
the one
how come it's not working out? I thought we had fun, bro. But, you know, like, for women
King
to give
advice, a whole married woman is up on him and trying to talk to him, and he's like, I don't even like her like that, but I'm gonna see what I can get.
What's good.
I'm gonna still, you know, it's a vibe.
Ladies, don't listen to this lady and her advice about you getting a guy a gift and trying to make it seem like you're listening to him. First of all, see if he's listening to you. Because if he comes empty-handed and he didn't bring that book you were reading or whatever the heck you love so much, that Chanel purse or whatever, you're missing something. Your tires just got flat.
Bring her dinner. And like she said, if he didn't bring her dinner, he didn't even buy her a record in the record store. He just brought her there. He just brought her there to window shop.
I don't even
Guess what she did? She pulled out her wallet and she paid for the record that she wanted in the store. So that's what actually happened. So
and
he didn't even do
when
anything.
She linked up with him, she picked him up.
Talking to him for 2 days and you're gonna bring him a gift. How dare you?
She picked him up, bought him a gift,
brought him
to the record store.
And then she's gonna wonder why
she bought her record.
She's going to wonder why she's single. She's going to think, I did all the right things. Why am I single? That's why you're single. Because you're thirsty.
Yeah.
Because you're
thirsty. I know women. I know it's a thirsty time right now. Because, you know, when you're single, you want to mingle.
Didn't you have a colleague that I met, but you had a colleague that was cooking for a man?
Oh, yeah. Extreme,
and
cooking.
He was brought him disrespectful, food. Not even interested. As soon as he came to my party, was like, "What's up? You guys want to hang out? Hey, I like to hang out. I can bring this. I can do this. Whatever you want me to do." This whole lady's cooking for you. What are you doing over here? I don't even know you. I'm disrespectful to you. What are you doing?
Then, like the next day, she tried to talk to him. The next day, she tried to talk to him, and he's like, kind of like, you know. Dodging bullets from her, like, oh, there she goes, I'm gonna run. Like, men don't like you being all over them. Like, they want to be all over you. They don't want you all over them. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's weird. It's like,
did we not learn anything from the Parkers?
There you go.
Mrs. Parker, well, you know, Monique ends up with him at the end. How far in the end?
You know why she ended up with him at the end? Because she started dating other people. She wasn't interested in him like she was before. And he's like, what happened? Now I'm interested, but she's been always thirsty. So she took him. But if she had that same momentum, even though, you know, she wasn't receiving all these men, because she still was receiving men, because she still had that energy and confidence in herself where other people were interested, but instead of having interest
because
in
she
them,
got those other men because she wasn't as thirsty, like she was with Mr. Ogilvy.
Yeah.
And so the men were chasing her, and they were like, "Oh, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to you."
Yeah.
Why y'all don't learn lessons when y'all watch TV?
No, they just. I've asked somebody that question before, Isabel, and they told me they watch TV to watch TV.
If you're not taking everything to be a lesson, then I don't even understand what you're doing. Like, because they just telling you they just telling you life. They can only replicate what y'all are doing out here. They can't make anything up. There's nothing new under the sun. So if you're not watching it to watch yourself, then I don't know what y'all doing out here.
How about the Selling Sunset lady who's dating Ocho Cinco?
Right. Sitting here having a baby by a loser. And I don't care about how much money people claim. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. He's rich.
He's not even serious.
He's not committed. He's not marrying you. How you gonna give somebody a child that's not marrying you?
And you got already 3 children.
Ladies, stop being thirsty.
But she already claimed she was thirsty because she's the one who DM'd him and
exactly.
reached out to him.
That sounds
and
like
she,
the real.
So she was claiming the thirst from the beginning.
A lot of women are pick me, pick me, pick me.
And it's disgusting. It's like you lower your value. It's like pick me. I'm standing out. Why would I want to stand out from other women? I don't got to with these other women. I'm not in competition with no other women. There's no reason for me to try to make you pick me. If you didn't pick me, then I'm not. I'm not for you. Let the one who you pick be the one.
I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with me
because I did the work. That's like people say, "What do you bring to the table?" This lady.
I am the table.
She was like, "I'm not gonna tell you what I bring to the table. I'm done talking to you, because I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you."
But what? I don't need to convince you. You should know.
See that you want to be here.
Yeah.
No guys ask me that. That's just a ridiculous. I mean, I think probably younger guys who just watch a lot of of these male podcast guys that they think to say that, but I don't think real men ever ask women what do you bring to the table? Because it's I'll just get up and sit at another table if you're gonna ask me that.
Exactly. You don't.
I was invited to the table.
Clearly, you don't want me at this
when
table.
I got here, I can just go to a table that's ready for me because I don't have to sit here. That's just I don't have to bring. This isn't a.
Why do I have to talk about what I bring to the table? I thought the table was already here, and I'm just sitting here because I'm a part of the table. If you don't get. Excuse me.
And anyways, I am the table. I'm like, no, I'm not the table.
Talk to you. You sound
I'm not the table, and I'm not bringing anything to the table, and I'll just go sit at another table because I think they want me over there at that table anyways. Bye. My bad. I sat at the wrong table.
You're asking questions? Oh, let me get out.
I didn't know I was sitting at the wrong table. Oh, sorry. Ma'am. Where's my table? Because this one apparently needed me to do
this one actually needs a paper.
I'm not prepared.
It's not standing still.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't even have to go know the next table I'm sitting at. If I stand up for a little
the tables
longer,
are already
somebody's
calling
gonna grab me to put me at their table. Oh, you don't have a table? Come sit over here.
What are you talking about? There's reservation tables sitting there waiting for you. You just, picking the seat that you want to sit at. The reservation reserved with my name on it.
Right. But so ladies, I hope we all learned, and gentlemen, what did we learn tonight? That we're back.
Welcome back. We're excited. Tonight was real deep, real funny, real pick me at the end, but
I had to share that, and I'm happy I got to share it when I did. So if y'all heard it, go do the playback so y'all can hear it again, because it was a whole mess. And like I said, don't take that type of advice. Know your worth. Love yourself.
Some people thought that was probably something that they can use. Ooh, I'm gonna go over there
and you won't get bad results.
He is not gonna choose you.
I've been there, done that. I'm not saying this because I didn't do things like that when I was younger. When I was 19, I did stuff like that. I was with the Dusty. I did pick me things because I wasn't thinking about actual stuff like that. I just wanted to go out to eat, so I didn't mind paying because I just wanted to go out to eat.
Right.
But then now I think back and I was like, you should have ate by yourself.
Right. You should have
ate by yourself. Better. But I was young, so I paid for my friends. I didn't mind paying for the guy that I liked. Now I know better.
I was so thirsty.
Don't make
I literally
the same mistake
for a guy to go on
in your
vacation
20s, 30s, 40s.
Right.
Stop trying to be a man and do what you want him to do for you. That's what they keep on doing. They keep on doing things that they think that they want the man to do for them. So they say, oh, let me do it for him so that he knows to do it for me. It doesn't work that way. No, ma'am. No. Because he's not going to think of it that way. He's not going to think, oh, she did this for me. Let me go do. No. He said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let me go do that for the girl that I actually like.
I know. Next time.
Right. So, I mean, I feel sorry for this girl.
Yeah.
But she will learn.
She needs to stop doing that and cut this man off.
I mean, maybe she'll never learn and she'll just like be with a Dusty. And
it sounds like that's because of her parents, like I said before.
Yeah, I don't even know, like,
her parents sound like
allowing that. It's just like, your dad failed you.
Your dad sounds a little bit dusty because he was like, he should know how to court a woman, and he's like, babe, honey, don't you dare take that. Let that man show you that he likes you more than you.
Yeah.
Hey, you better put my cigar down.
Right. Don't give him I don't know that clown. If he wants to smoke my cigar, he better come up here and ask me and talk to me and tell me how much he loves my daughter, and then I offer him a cigar. I ain't going, what kind of man? No, in real
I'll
life,
give him a cigar when he comes over here and marries you.
Hold on. If you're a cigar smoker, as a man, aren't you supposed to have some type of dignity and say, oh, well, if that man really want to smoke a cigar, he's going to smoke it with me, and he's going to come to my house, and he's going to court my daughter properly and come in here, and then,